Now I'm ready.
All right. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you today?
Good morning, Carlos. Yeah, I'm doing great today. How are you?
Awesome, my friend. Doing good. Doing
We're
good.
heading in the last few days before the Christmas break. Very exciting. Gonna rock the
Yeah.
ugly sweater. We're going with Gingy today. Here we go.
I like that. Love it.
There
Love
you
it.
go.
Love it. All right. Let's see, friends. I'm trying to get audio and video in chat, and it's not working. But you guys over on YouTube and X should be perfectly fine this morning. Should not have no issues there. But yeah, trying to figure out what's up with our chat room here. Let me close everything down and restart it again. Usually browsers tend to like that fresh, clean restart. So we'll do that. We'll do that now. All right, as we're doing this, friends, quick look at our gappers list brought to you by TradingTerminal.com. And it's just, things are feeling really nice this morning, Peter. Nothing but
Are they?
green on the screen. Look at this. Green, green, green. I mean, it is a bloodbath of green here. Everything I have on my list is green. Everything. It's ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Everybody's happy. It is awesome. So a lot of green on the screen
I,
this morning.
I don't think I've ever heard that term before. A bloodbath of green. That's
Yeah. Well, if you're the Grinch, I guess you have to have green blood, right? So I don't know. All right, let's see here. All right, Peter, take us to our use economic calendar. I'm going to continue working on the back end here to get our chat room up and running. It is not working for whatever reason. But what does the U.S. economic calendar look like today, which seems pretty light?
Yeah, that's a pretty easy one because there's nothing scheduled for today. We have no economic announcements, no data that's expected to come out. It's a quiet day on this Monday before I said the Christmas holiday break. Just to keep in mind what the schedule looks like for this week. Normal trading today and tomorrow, meaning all day. On Wednesday, it's only half day, meaning the markets close at 1 p.m. and closed all day Thursday, and then we're back to regular trading hours on Friday. So we only got about 3.5 days of trading in this week, and some of that time is likely to be at lower volume. That can bring opportunity, frankly, but it can also bring some risk, right? The lower volume can create higher volatility. It sort of depends, right? If those people that are left behind that are still here trading choose to move things, stocks can move a little more aggressively than they would when you get the bigger volume. But if there's not that interest in moving things, then you really just get a lot of very boring sideways action. So I'm not sure which I hope for, frankly, because the big movement, can give opportunity, but you got to be really on top of your game. So just be careful this week, whatever you do. Again, it could be totally boring. I really don't know which way we're gonna go, but one way or the other, today should be pretty normal, I would think. As Carlos pointed out, though, a lot of green going on, so that's good. As we start this week, we've got so many things that are just gapping higher. And not a lot that is moving down. So we'll talk about that. By the way, and of course, earnings. You would expect not to have any earnings, and we really don't. This week is going to be very quiet, both for economic data and for earnings. Nobody wants to give out their earnings right before you go into the holidays. So we got pretty much nothing scheduled all week. So it's going to be relatively quiet, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
We got the chat room working yet? Not yet, eh?
No,
Still
it's not
trying?
working. No, it's not
What's
working.
happening?
We got it. The sound does not come in for some reason, so I have no idea. We doing what we do every single day here, and today's decided we're not gonna work for you today, and that's just it. So we'll try it again here. The mic is just not working, friends. So they can see the video, but they cannot get audio for some reason. So
Hmm.
we'll keep trying it. We'll refresh it one more time. We'll keep trying until we get it. So let's see if we can get something on it. We'll close it out again. We'll keep retrying until we force our way in there. All right. In the meantime, friends, let's take a look at our gappers list brought to you by TradingTerminal.com. So I mentioned just everything in the green this morning. Some double-digit tickers here leading the way right now. So that looks nice. And then towards the bottom, we do have some of our favorite tickers in play that are up this morning. We got MU, which was very active last week. Rigetti, quantum stuff in here as well. Oracle, Mara, some of the our Bitcoin stuff is on there. Hood, which many people like. I mean, it is just green, green, green here today, Peter. So a lot of fun stuff happening there. Let's start with the first one this morning as I continue to work on the back end. ABVX is up, and they're up 17%. This is a low flow ticker sitting at not low flow, actually 57 million. It's not bad. 57 million shares flow. It has 318,000 shares traded. Daily looks a little bit, it looks okay. It doesn't get great volume. Like this is 2.2 million shares traded here for the entire day. You can see how many times they're well below that. So not even getting to 2 million on regular days here. So that's going to be a problem for me and the tickers I like to trade. Pre-market activity, you're seeing a little bit of action here. Again, love the gap up of 17%. Just not sure it's going to fit my criteria to trade this one, Peter.
Well, and I don't blame you. It is a Monday, despite everything else, which means that we're going to get our share of biotech. The biotechs love to show up after the weekend, and this is one out of France called AVGO, and it has positive news that they are apparently in a meeting with Eli Lilly. In France over a potential deal. They might be taken over by the French biotech, and Eli Lilly's one of the big boys out there in the space. So to be bought out by them is good news. It's speculation though, because there's no deal terms that have been released. No confirmation that there is actually even going to be a deal. They're just investigating a potential deal at this point, but that's enough to push ABVX higher this morning.
Yeah, yeah. Again, won't be on my list. I think it's not one that fits my criteria. Let's take a look at the next one. It's going to be HYMC. It's another one that's on deck this morning. And this looks even worse, really. Pre-market action is a little bit all over the place. 307,000 shares traded. Up around the same thing, 18%. This one is a low flow, though, sitting at 5 million shares flow. So not looking too hot this morning. And the daily, you could tell. Daily's looking great, though. Daily has had a nice run here in November and October. Trading very, very nice. All of September, August looks like it started going here from about $3 to $19 this morning. So doing some stuff on the daily. But again, low flow stock. Be very careful, Peter. Big gap up for them today. Not a whole lot of volume. What's the latest and greatest?
Sorry, I was posting links to try and get our members in the chat room into the YouTube here. HYMC. Highcroft Mining Holding Corporation. All right. So they are. Whoa. Hey, we got sound in the chat room. It worked because I got an echo. All right. They are a silver miner, and looks like they have found a very high yield silver deposit. So it looks like that's going to open new mining opportunities for them, and that's enough to push the stock higher. We don't normally trade the miners. They are tough to trade on the best of times, and even though this might be a good day for HYMC overall, not likely to give you good intraday day trading, momentum-based opportunities. So.
All right. All right, we'll leave that alone, friends. Let's move on to the next one here. It's going to be TE. So TE, we've seen this one many times on our list before. They're up this morning, 9.8, 807,000 shares traded. You can see on the daily here, we're getting a lot of movements lately. I think I saw them was it last week or the week before? But they made our gappers list up or down. I can't recall. Quite a
Eh?
few times here, but yeah, I saw them. It was either sometime last week or the week before. Again, not really tradable. Not really anything we look at there. They don't trade very well. T1 Energy is the name of the company. They're here today. I won't be looking at them. They're gonna get skipped again as well. But Peter, do you like this one?
No, I don't. I mean, the news is good. They announced a 3-year deal to supply a company called Treaty Oak with 900 megawatts of solar modules. So, good sale for them, good business driver, but I don't think it's going to yield trading opportunities.
Yeah, same here. We'll leave this alone here. All right, let's man, not coming off a lot that I love here this morning so far off the list. Let's do one more, then we'll hop around. Let's do C Wang here and see what we get here. So here's C Wang, Clear Water Analytics. I can't read the rest of the name; it's too long. Analytics, yeah, holding. So yeah, this looks crappy. Looks like a buyout to me, man. This gap up and just sideways action. 13 million shares traded. This is really not tradable, Peter. We'll do this last one and then we'll hop around, see what else we can get on our list this morning.
Yeah, you called it. This is an acquisition. They're being bought out for $24.55 a share, which is sitting just above the current price. And they're going to be bought by a company called Permira. Permira and Warburg Pincus. What kind of, anyways, tough to say names. Anyways, it's an $8.4 billion deal, not a tradable opportunity.
Yeah,
So,
not good. Not good. All right, let's hop around, Peter. What do you like of the gap up list this morning? And we do have plenty of time because there's nothing to cover on the gap down. So what are some of the things you'll be looking at as we kick off this week?
well, there's some interesting things that are on the gap up list. I mean, as we were sort of saying, almost everything is gapping up, but some things of note, we've got some old favorites like Hood and CRCL that are on it there this morning. We've got a lot of the sort of the Bitcoin related stocks. I see Mara and Clean Spark. I always struggle with that one. Clear Spark, Clean Spark, whatever the heck they are. Anyways, they're there. and I don't, I mean, look, they can move. Robin Hood is my favorite if I don't know what the news is and what's going on. Bitcoin prices are up a little bit over the weekend. They're sitting right now at the high of the last 4 or 5 days, just under $90,000. They did spike over 90,000 briefly earlier this morning, so that's good. As they're recovering a little bit from the low of around 85,000 that they had hit back on Thursday. It's so I mean, but it's still nothing to write home about, right? Again, until we get over that $100,000 mark again, which we were at, but it's now been 2 months almost since we were there. So really, Bitcoin is disappointing end to the year. Like unless something miraculous happens in the last, the next 5 or 6 days, it's going to be a pretty disappointing end of the year to Bitcoin because I think we're pretty much ending just slightly below where we started because we started last year at about 95,000, I think, if I remember correctly, and we might get back there, but we're unlikely to get higher. So yeah, if you're a big Bitcoin holder, you've had to work hard to maintain your enthusiasm this year, or at least in the last couple months, because I bet you were thinking you were off to the races when things spiked up and you were a little over $120,000 for a Bitcoin. That feels a long way behind you right at this point.
Yeah, sure does.
Guido says it was 93,400. So there you go. Okay, so somewhere around there. Anyways, whatever the price was, yeah. We'll be lucky to get back to that point.
Yeah, struggling.
Uh,
What else?
That aside, I mean, on the list we also have some of the other stuff we've been watching more recently, like Oracle. I noticed Oracle is on the list today. It's not dead yet, right? It's every time I think Oracle's down for the count, it comes back and gives us a good trading day. It did that last week, and I don't know, maybe it'll do it again this week. The volume almost 1 million shares so far this morning, so that's pretty good. You have to remember that Oracle, back prior to September when it started to get all the focus and the movement, I was only trading about 5 to 6 million shares a day. So to have a million pre-market is pretty good for Oracle. So it might be worth keeping an eye on. And then of course the semiconductors, every single one of them is green today, but everything looks pretty average. I mean, slightly more than average movement higher. We're up like $3 on NVIDIA, but the volume is about average across everything. 500,000 shares on AMD, 3.5 million shares on NVIDIA. Micron is only 1.2 million. Actually, it's not that bad for MU. What about Broadcom? Yeah, Broadcom sitting about just under 900,000 shares. So, it's they're all doing their normal thing, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably gonna stick with some of those usual suspects, including Oracle, since you mentioned it here. Also looks good pre-market. I do see a little bit of some action on it, man. A million shares straight up 2.5. I think that's worth putting on the list this morning. So, all right, let me start filling some of this stuff out because it's empty. So we know we're gonna look at Tesla. So let's not even waste any time. Put Tesla right on there. We know I'm gonna look at NVIDIA, and of course I'm going to look at Oracle. So those three is what I'm coming off with this gappers list. And Oracle is CL actually, ORCL. There it is. And I think those would be really good. Looking at Tesla, man, is go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, I was going to say Tesla. Tesla's one that people are talking about as to is it or is it not going to be able to get over $500 between now and the end of the year. Maybe we should ask the Magic 8 Ball that. Magic 8
Let's
Ball.
ask that Magic 8 Ball.
Will
I
Tesla,
say no. I say no, but
you say no? Will Tesla ever hit a price of over? We want to say during market hours or at any point?
Any
we'll
point.
Say at any point.
Any point.
Any
yeah.
point. All right. Will Tesla hit a price of $500 or greater at any point between now and the end of 2025? The Magic 8 Ball says, without a doubt. The Magic 8 Ball has spoken.
I like that.
Without a doubt. All
very,
right,
very
strong.
that
one. Yeah, that's a strong positive statement there by the Magic 8 Ball. So this is our trading oracle. We use it, of course, to determine all of our trades. Because no, I'm kidding, but it's fun, it's entertaining. So, and it's running off of the Magic 8 Ball right now. We've been using the Magic 8 Ball ever since it came to our trading community in October of 2020. It has made 147 predictions with a 66% accuracy rating. So there you go. That's our Magic 8 Ball.
If you use that on trades and your risk to reward is 3 to 1, you can be very profitable. So 60% is very, very good. That's awesome. All right, friends, let's get to it. Nothing on the gap down. So nothing to cover there. Everything is on the gap up this morning. So I'm going to go to you guys. This is brought to you by TradingTerminal.com, by the way. I'm going to go into the chat and see what you guys like this morning. What are you guys watching today? Let's start here in our chat room. Oracle is on deck. That's good. Zombie, you're giving us coin. Let's take a look at coin this morning. I put coin with the rest of the other Bitcoin type plays. I mean, I don't see a lot going on. I mean, these things were hot, man. You guys remember coin back in the summer? I mean, it was just beautiful. Broke out here, kept going. I mean, it went to 4 something. Was trading well, good volume. We have not seen that recently, right? So I'm not a fan of this one or Mara or the other ones. It just have not been trading well. A lot of the movements have been happening after hours or in the pre-market session. So I'm gonna skip on it for now. Here it is. Here's the pop we got back in June, all the way into 440. So really nice. Again, not a fan of all of these. Yeah, the MSTRs and all that. I'm gonna keep it on the side for now. If you guys see something great, let us know. But for now, I'm gonna keep it on the side. Tesla is on deck, Elkin, so that's good. MU gap fill. MU, you know what? It could be interesting. Yeah, it's getting a little bit of volume here this morning too. 1.2 million shares traded, which actually is pretty good. 3.7 gap up this morning. Could be a great second there because even though it did earnings, was it last week? Yeah, last week, and it has some good movement. I still find other tickers, NVIDIA, AMD, to be easier to trade. Even when this one is the one that's leading the news. So I tend to just go with some other bigger, more volume, heavy type tickers. So
it's always interesting when things are at all-time highs, like MU right now. But as you say, it still does not trade as well as some of the other semis.
Yeah, yeah. Even CoreWeave. Someone mentioned CoreWeave here in our chat room. Yeah, even CoreWeave will trade very nice, right? At least for the way I trade. In my style of trading, CoreWeave can trade good. It had a monstrous day on Friday, man. This thing just took off, opened up around 70 or something, and it just kept going up and up and up. It was just like a slow, gradual grind. Like there was no big moves up, right? But it was just kind of slowly just making its way higher and higher and higher. It did end the day at around 84, looks like, so around 83 something. So pretty nice for them. Today they're gapping up 3.1, got some volume behind it as well. Almost a million shares traded. Pre-market action looks very clean. Yeah, I gotta say I do like this one too. I'm gonna put it on my secondary list for now. I might end up moving this one up though. We'll see where it goes. All right, what else, friends? MU we do have on deck. That's good.
Warner Brothers is back in the conversation, which means
All right.
Netflix is also back here. Warner Brothers has got a lot more volume than it normally has this morning, largely because, as we had said, remember last week, the board of Warner Brothers came out and said they didn't like the deal from Paramount because they didn't feel confident that the money was secured effectively. Well, as expected, Paramount is not going to go away quietly, despite the board basically giving them the snub. They've come back and said, "All right, fine. You didn't like who is supporting it. We've got a backer that you might like." So Larry Ellison, the CEO of Oracle, has come to back the bid with a financing and is basically guaranteeing the offer. He said that he's going to provide up to $25 billion. A $40.4 billion personal guarantee behind the bid. So the billionaire bros are at it again, right? Backing each other up and trying to again continue to secure their ownership of the planet. So we'll see what happens with all of this. It's we assumed that it would be far from over. What's unclear is what is it going to do for trading? All right, how does Netflix? You figure, I don't know, might drop because of this. Warner Brothers. I don't know whether Warner Brothers will go up or down. Is this a good thing or a bad thing for Warner Brothers? Like I felt like the Warner Brother board didn't really want the Paramount deal. They preferred the Netflix deal, but you can't ignore the extra cash. Now, I guess the argument would be, I mean, we're basically talking about a $5 a share difference in the bids, understanding that that $5 difference is the perceived value of their cable assets, right? Because I think those were the ones that were excluded from the Netflix deal because they weren't buying everything. They were just buying the stuff they wanted and they were leaving the cable, which is going to be spun off into a separate company. So the big discussion is that, is that all-in deal actually good for the shareholders or not? And I don't know which way that's going to go. Like no idea how they would do that evaluation or what they're prepared to release. So it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. I feel like this is going to be a early 2026 thing, but you never know. This could move fast over the next couple of days. Can't
Yep.
wait for the
Sure.
movie. Yeah, someone's
Sure.
going to make a movie of this.
Everything's a documentary. This will come out to be another documentary.
Well,
It's crazy.
and we'll have to see if the movie is made by the person that wins the bid or loses the bid, because that would have a very different tone to the flick, wouldn't it? So.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. All right, friends. What else? Tesla, NVIDIA, Oracle is I have on here. The WBD. I'm not gonna be watching myself, but it is in play today. You can see it here. A little pop this morning, as Peter just mentioned. Talked about some more news coming out on that. Just shows you that it's good for Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers, it's good to be in this situation. They're the big winner of this fight over them, so that's good for them. AMD, I do have my second there, so that's good. Pre-market meditation over on YouTube. And what else? What else? I don't see anything else. Anything else that's really in play. What is here? Let's take a look over in our chat. Anything else in our chat?
How
Nope.
about the one that always bucks the trend? It seems like every time everything goes one way, it goes the other way, has been Apple. The latter half of this year, every time the market zigs, Apple zags. And today seems to be no exception. if there's one thing that's red on my screen is Apple. Not by much, and its volume is fairly low, but Apple's just loves to just be the contrarian in this market recently. I don't know why I don't know why that is, but it's been fairly reliable. So if you like
Yeah.
that, if you like things that are not going, with the crowd, Apple could be your stock for the day.
Yeah, I'm gonna add it on here because it can be a good one. We saw it trade very well last couple of days, right? Like nothing happens pre-market, then you see this beautiful drop or pop on it. So I'll put it on here because I do have the space. Again, there's really nothing that's heavily in play on its own, right? And to your point, Bobster trades, I agree. When there's nothing that's has news that's trading on its own, we just go back to our usual suspects, which tends to be Tesla, NVIDIA, Oracle. I mean, not at least for now, because Oracle was normally not on our list. AMD, MU, stuff that is going to get volume. But if you look at something just on news only, there's nothing out here that's really on its own news that's not a low float that fits my criteria, right? Now, if you like low floats, there's plenty of those every day that are just popping up for no reason whatsoever. And if that fits your criteria, I mean, you just take a look at some of them on here, like VELO is up today,
Yeah.
12%. You also have, what's the other one? ABVX, I think that's the buyout, so I'm not sure about that one, but you got some other ones that can fit your style of trading. But yeah, I agree, man. There's nothing that's sticking out, so I'm gonna go with my usual suspects, so. And
One that I see that in the chat room is being mentioned, Rocket Lab. It's one that we've looked at before, RKLB. They completed their final launch of the year this morning of their Electron rockets, making that 21 launches this year with a 100% success rate. So they're screaming from the rooftops to anybody that'll listen how they've had 100% success in their launches. This last launch was sending their QPS SAR 15 satellite into space for Japan's IQPS system, which is a synthetic aperture radar constellation. Anyways, I don't know what IQPS stands for, but doesn't matter. It's a Japanese synthetic radar. So they've got a whole bunch of trips planned in 2026, and I don't know. I mean, they've got good volume, 1.4 million shares. I see it dropping right now, but this is after a big sort of gap higher. So it looks in play. I'm a little skeptical as to how well it's going to trade, but maybe.
yeah, yeah, I like the day I had yesterday, Friday. That looks nice, so I might add this to the list here. Let's see, on a secondary for now. I can always move it up a little bit later. So RKLB. All right, perfect. That's what we have. Peter, very, very quick gappers list review. I mean, there's not a whole lot. Anything else you like that maybe we haven't talked about, or the gapping down that maybe it's not on the list?
Well, I mean, as I said, like honestly, there's not much that's gapping down. I know last week we were looking at Tilray. Still nothing out of the White House to confirm or deny that rumor that they were going to federally change cannabis from being a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 drug. That's what everybody was waiting for, that sort of announcement, confirmation, and hasn't happened. So, or did it? Wait a second. Mm, no. Blah 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 blah. So no, I don't think it actually happened. Maybe it did. Yeah, I'm just looking here. I think the problem is that back blah 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 blah. I think President Trump issued an executive order. Oh, sorry, no, yeah, he did in fact sign an executive order. So probably it's like a lot of the executive orders that get signed out of the White House these days, that there's some ratification of Congress or somebody else that needs to happen before it would come into effect. So but whatever happened, the reality is that if you look at Tilray's prices or the stock price, it sort of shot up. People were sort of anticipating more action, and it's come right back down to the place. I mean, it's still in the gap. At least there's that, right? If you look at the price, it's at $11. The pre-gap price was around 850. So it's still higher than it was, which means this thing could go either way, right? If people still think, this was not enough and we're not going to see a push in growth, then this stock could sink $3 from where it's at. Likewise, it's got, $3 more to the top side of where it had spiked up to last week. So I don't think it'll be in play, Carlos, but it's just one of the few that is red at the moment that I was seeing here on my screen. Um, Other than that,
Yep.
silver and gold prices continue to be just crazy heights. Gold actually finally, I think gold is at a new all-time high. It had fallen off its all-time highs and was slowly edging back to that area. And this morning it's gapping a little bit higher. Silver has been like new high after new high, right? So it's been going crazy. So if you're trading those commodities or holding them, you're pretty happy today.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. All right, friends. That's all I have. Let's go over to community events and announcements. Let's get that going. See what's coming up for today and this week. But let's go over here to bearwithtraders.com. And then if you're over on if you are on X, I am going to stop the stream on X and I'm going to redo it because we can't chat to each other for some reason. So I think the setting of not chatting got turned on. So I'm going to redo that stream right now. I'm going to come right back and I'm going to add the chat settings so we can chat to each other while Peter does our Monday announcements.
Okay. Yeah, so we got some stuff here that's new. Look at this. We got like new little tags and everything. Isn't this great? We couple things today. On this Monday, we've got a focus on bringing new people into the fold and helping get you set up for your trading journey. If you are new into the community or just want to refresh your skills, today's a good day to do it, as always, starting the week. Despite it being a holiday week, we're going to keep to as much of the regular schedule as we can. Of course, you can anticipate Wednesday and Thursday there will be reduced activity. Nothing on Thursday, and then Wednesday. The team will let me know, but I got to imagine we'll be canceling those activities as well. Anyways, but for today, we are all systems go. Starting with our noon session by Nathan, talking about Order Map and the Atlas tool, which you can find at tradingterminal.com. That tool is great to visualize orders and order volumes. If you want to understand how to use that, you can join Nathan. He's going to talk about the tools that do that. We have our own, like we said, Market Atlas, which is in Trading Terminal. Of course, there's always the Bookmap, which is on which it's based. So both good tool options, and they work similarly. But it's good to understand how they work because understanding the volume and where it sits in the market can be very valuable in your trading. So that's at noon today, and then at this evening, we've got two sessions that are available and happy for you. And we're seeing all sorts of your screens here, Carlos. Just so you know, don't share anything you don't want to. But
I
we've
won't show you
got
my OnlyFans page. It's okay.
there you go. We've got a Peak Capital Bootcamp onboarding session, which will give you an idea of what you could expect in bootcamp and how to prep for it. So whether you're all ready to go and you're eager for the January bootcamp or it's something you're just kicking the tires on, you might want to join that. That's in Trading Terminal. So go to tradingterminal.com, go to the Academy, and actually, I think there's a separate webinar little link there. Let me see. I'm going to call up the app right here, right now, and we'll see. Where's the app? Come on, little Trading Terminal app. Yeah, go into the webinar tab and you can find the free webinar that's going to be happening this evening. And that will give you the ability to understand where you can take focus on your journey for the upcoming boot camp. And it's Mike is he's sort of the master of this boot camp and really coordinates everything. So if you want to do that, that's at 7 o'clock. And then we also have tonight our onboarding class. The onboarding class is where you can get familiar with everything at Bear Bull Traders and what we have to offer. Carlos leads that, and he's going to be doing that session tonight like he normally does on Mondays. And that's for everybody. Everybody who's at any membership class can join. And if you're interested in doing that, then we would love to have you. That happens in the onboarding room, and that's scheduled at 8 p.m. So noon, 7, and 8 p.m. are the scheduled times for events today. Carlos, if you're ready, we can go and look at some levels here. Moderators, it's time for you to get your watch list in so we know what you're looking at. And I'll let you guys know what those things are in a few
Yeah.
minutes.
Yep, absolutely, man. Let's jump right into it. All right, so first on deck, we'll look at Tesla. Again, Tesla has been really good to us, trading very, very well over the last maybe month or so. But here we are. Here's the daily so far. At the moment, I'm going to remove some of the older levels. Continuing to push against this 400, trying to get higher. Can Tesla make 500 before the end of the year? So we'll see. 488 is the high of the premium.
Yes.
Yeah, the boss says without a doubt, right? That's what it was.
Without a doubt.
Without
yeah.
that's strong.
Words.
Yeah. So 488.51 is the high of the pre-market. 484, 485 actually is the low of the pre-market there. And once you do that, if you look at the daily, I mean, there's plenty of levels, highs and lows. Your all-time highs up here at 495-ish or so. There's no other levels we really need to add. So very, very straight and clean on Tesla there. NVIDIA is next. So NVIDIA here, high of the pre-market right now. We do have 184.60. Towards the bottom, we do have 181.99, actually 182 to be exact. Below here, highs and lows for the last two trading days, doing a really good job. Previous day closed the dotted black line you see there. And right in here, I'm going to put a level right over here, 179.10. I think it's worth noting, above the pre-market high, 188.05. So once I do that, I'm pretty much set here on NVIDIA. Beautiful pre-market activity, 4.1 million shares traded. So we got quite the volume this morning on NVIDIA. So that looks pretty nice. Looking forward to this one this morning. Next, I do have Oracle. Oracle comes on and off my list. I mean, it's been trading well on and off here. High of the pre-market 197.97. The low is down at 195.50. So we'll slam levels on those two areas there. Towards the bottom, highs and lows for the last two trading days, doing a really good job. Above here, we do have 202.04, and just in case we get really going here, 207.87. Oracle, very similar to AVGO. You know, you don't got to take a whole boatload of shares on this one. You can get $1 and $2 on Oracle very, very easily if it trends, right? AVGO is a little much faster, right? Because AVGO lately has been moving. I mean, $10 move on AVGO is not something far-fetched, right? So it can move very well. Today, we talked about it, but I don't think we really looked at it. I know we traded it a couple of times, and it's been done very well. Here as it tries to break out on the daily, not sure. You know what, I'm going to add it to secondary. I want to look at it a little bit later because we will have some time. So let's add it here, AVGO. We'll come back to that one in a second here. All right, let's continue with the levels. So last one on the list is Apple. Apple's pre-market action just horrible, and it typically does this. Like, it doesn't give you a whole lot of pre-market activity unless they have some individual news. I have the pre-market 273.89. The low is down at 273. And if you go towards the bottom here, we do have an area 271.69. Then highs and lows for the last two trading days are covering the big areas like this one here. Look at this. A low from Friday. That is a big level there. Look how many days are just closing and slamming into this area here. So that's pretty nice. You definitely want to have that there. And very interesting stretch here on Apple. Look at all these days here, like from November. So like in the beginning of November to the end of November, it's just very out. This is not very algo-like. It's not a typical Apple stuff. Then from there, end of November, we finally, Thanksgiving time, looks like we got finally a nice break out there. But man, this was rough, very choppy and wicky until we actually started breaking out here. So that is Apple. Towards the top, highs and lows as well. And you do have an area I'm going to mark down. It's going to be 276.01. Outside of that, I think you're pretty much set on Apple, and that is our list, friends. Again, pretty tight today. Tesla, NVIDIA, Oracle, and Apple going with a lot of our usual suspects. There's not much out there that's sticking out that is in play, right? If you look at our gappers list from tradingterminal.com, nothing in the red, and everything just higher this morning, slightly green. Got a ton between that 1% to 3%, 2%. It just continues to grow. Look at this. Now we got more in here. AMD, PDD, Rigetti, some of the quantum stuff. Making their way up here. So again, just the overall market feeling good this morning, but nothing particularly sticking out individually at the time. So, Peter, I know it's a little bit early, but do you have anything from our team this morning?
Some of our team have got their lists in, absolutely. Starting with well, myself, as we were talking about, I'm going to be looking at the usuals. I think I'm very semiconductor heavy. I've got AMD, I've got NVIDIA, I've got Broadcom as well. I know that Micron's at all-time highs, but it is not a favorite of mine, so I didn't put it on the list. Tesla and Netflix are the other ones that I'm watching. Mike is going to be watching just Tesla and Amazon. Their focus for him. Jared has got Netflix, Amazon, Rocket Lab, MSTR, and Broadcom. Thor is going to be watching AMD, Broadcom, Google, and NVIDIA. He's also going to be looking, of course, at the futures contracts, as he always does. And that's about it so far. We expect to have slightly fewer people, as many people are already in holiday mode. I know as I was out for a walk in the neighborhood this morning, it was pretty quiet out there. Not as many cars as you normally get on a weekday. So.
Yeah, it's that time of the year.
Yep.
All right, friends, we are ready. Any questions? Any rants, Peter? What we got going on? We definitely got time today.
It's no, I got no holiday rants.
Yeah.
Everything is I all other than I mean it's not really a rant. It's just a random. I watched the Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills play yesterday because my daughter was at that game. She went down to
Did she
Cleveland.
find her passport? Did she find it?
No, she didn't. She ended up having to get a new one. She got an emergency passport, and they actually managed to produce it and get it to her same day. So,
Yeah.
so that was pretty
Nice.
impressive, I thought. But and now she's like, I hope I never find it. I don't know, still no idea where it went, how she possibly lost it, but she hopes she never finds it. So, but anyway, she made it down. They had a great time. She'll be back later this afternoon. But I'm watching the game, and I could honestly care less about the game. I just wanted to figure out where she was in the stands, and they really didn't show the crowd very much. I'm like, why are they focusing on the field? I want to see the stand. Show me the crowd. Try and find my daughter, and they would not cooperate. And
No, I'm
she
sure.
sent she did send a picture of the crowd. I wish I had thought to put it on my computer here, but she did send a picture of the crowd, and I was surprised. It seemed fairly empty, maybe two-thirds full, the stadium. So I thought NFL games were pretty much all full, but I
Oh
don't know,
yeah,
maybe.
here Giant Stadium is full 24/7. Like
Yeah.
it could be and they suck. They suck so bad. It's so bad. I mean, but they still the ticket's still expensive, and it's still packed. Like it's New York sports, man. New York sports are ridiculous. Even when the Yankees are doing the worst that they can possibly do, you go and buy a ticket, and it's just ridiculous. And you go there, and it's packed. Every seat is packed. I'm like, we suck. What are you guys doing here? They don't care.
Well, can't talk the NFL without getting Thor interested. He's got reason to celebrate this year because for the first time in a while, his Jacksonville Jaguars are doing pretty good,
Who's that?
close to being top of the league. I think
That's the
I
football
remember
team?
looking at I looked at the stats. They're pretty cool. Their record is pretty impressive.
I gotta look them up. I don't know who that is. Never heard of them.
Shots fired. I didn't mean to. I wasn't trying to be negative. That's just the facts, aren't they?
No, no,
You know.
no, no. It is. Even Thor knows that they struggle. I mean, we all go through a stretch, right? Giants are going through it now. We are so bad.
Uh,
So bad. All right, friends. We are pretty set here, man. We got our list ready to go. We'll see how this market twists. Look at this. One is actually showing up on the gap down list today. Timber, TIMB. Tim SA American something. Yeah, this is brutal. I mean, just look at the way this pre-market action is developing here. So I'm not sure what's going on. The float on this one is 480. What is it?
what is this? This is the Brazilian
Tim.
telecom company, Tim
Okay.
SAADR. I've never heard of this thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
I'm
don't
staying
want
away
we don't
from
want
it.
any part of this.
Nope. Barcode. Yeah, it's brutal. All right, we'll leave that alone. And that's pretty much it, guys. Anything else you guys are watching that maybe we haven't talked about yet? Rigetti, I see some people throwing that out. Let's take a look. RGTI, Rigetti. Let's see here. Up 2% this morning. 796,000 shares traded. Yeah, this could be It could be something. I mean, it's not heavily in play. It's a slight gap up towards the area of resistance they've been having here over the last week or so, just slightly above it. So maybe it could be interesting, but right now I don't see anything great on it. I know some of the quantum stuff was on there, QUBT, QBTS as well can move, but QBTS looks actually pretty decent. So, what you got, Peter?
Oh my! No, I was actually just looking at the NFL standings. They're my goodness, there are some teams that have really struggled this year. I know for the first time in many years, the Kansas City Chiefs didn't even make the playoffs, so they're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. But I was just looking at if you're a Giants fan, you're not having a good year.
You're having a horrible year. But it's the funny thing about it is their games have been so good because we score. We score at will, man. We score every game, but we just can't win. But their offense is like if you're watching, you know, when you play a PlayStation Madden, and you got all these great plays. Where it's like, oh wow, they're exciting games. You know, so we score, but we just can't win. We just can't win. So, but their games have been exciting. So I guess that's why people might be going to the stadium. But yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Well, they're not alone. The Las Vegas Raiders have the same record that they do, and that's not looking good. Anyways, I was just looking up Jacksonville because they are at the top of the AFC South, but haven't yet clinched a spot. So,
yep. Giants roll out the garbage truck. Yeah, we could roll out the garbage trucks for the Giants. There's no question. I'm a Giants fan, and I 100% agree with this. They need to make some changes. All right. What else? Apple, Oracle, NVDA, Tesla.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic there's going to be some good trading opportunities today. I said I sort of like these days when you come in with no clear.
Yeah.
I mean, we're upward trajectory, but there's no like standout targets. Nothing's moving that aggressively. You know, it's just an okay day. It's an okay pseudo holiday. People are easing their way into this Christmas break type of trading day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this whole week is weird for me. It's like the trading is different. It's definitely weird, and I don't expect anything great. If we get it, great, but I don't expect anything great. Like, it's so much other stuff going on. But we'll see. We're here. Let's see if trading can provide us something. The more important thing is don't force it. Do not force it. Just let the setup come to you. Be very picky on the stuff you get. You know, because it sucks trading bad during this time of the year. Don't trade bad during this time of the year. It really does suck. So don't let it mess up your holiday mood and everything else that's going on. That's great right now. So, but yeah, we'll see what it brings. AVGO doing some stuff. I like this one. Trying to move higher here in the pre-market session. So we'll see what's going on there. And AMD. Your buddy Peter doing some stuff as well.
Yeah, AMD.
All semis look like. Yeah, AMD, especially AMD trying to get going here. So we'll see if that amounts to anything. One thing I'll force is Tesla long at the open. Yes. Are we doing that? Are we doing that today?
Well,
man.
See if it pans out.
Yeah.
Sometimes that trade only lasts like 30 seconds, right? Like, it's not a very long trade.
It is so quick. Yeah, it's so quick. But yeah, I don't know, man. Out of 10 times, it's worked 8, so that's a good record, right? It's out of 10 times, I think it's worked 8. Good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But man, you got to be quick. That 1 minute ORB or whatever, that opening trade is so quick. Yeah. AMD pop. Yeah, see, AMD's trying to do something here. I don't know what's going on, but I see it trying to. Is my thing stuck? No, it's moving. All right, I see it trying to do something. Could be interesting. I do have it on my secondary list. I might have to move this one up maybe, and cover something else. 1, 2, 3. You know, I only have 4 tickers. I could afford to add AMD up here. Actually, I'm gonna move AMD up. And let's go ahead and do some levels for AMD while we're at it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes to the market open, friends. Yeah. AMD to 20. Yeah.
People are talking about this AMD deal. Yeah, it's only a
What
rumor
deal?
right now. Somebody claims that they've learned that Alibaba plans to buy 40 to 50,000 AMD of their MI308, which is their sort of top-end AI accelerator chips. Again, it's a rumor, not a fact.
Yeah.
Um, so be careful with that type of news. It may or may not stick, but AMD is moving. There's no arguing that. So.
I heard a rumor from a friend of a
Mm,
friend that Verizon is
okay.
going under. And they were like, if you have Verizon,
Oh,
call them and tell them to lower your bill because they're struggling big time and they'll do it. I'm like, okay. So I got to call them and see what they do. But someone said they're going under. I was like, no, they're not going under. Really? Like, yeah, they're struggling bad. So I was like, okay. So it was a friend of a friend. I don't know how they're involved and what kind of inside information they have, but you didn't hear from me. All the 300,000 in chat, 1,000 there. Didn't hear from me.
It's,
In
I
fact,
was gonna
I shouldn't
say,
have said that.
should tell our thousands of friends
Yeah, just tell my ex
while being
followers
recorded.
and all. Yeah, exactly, all on record. But yeah. So if you have a Bryson bill, call them up. Say I'm leaving to AT&T unless you give me a better number, and we'll see what happens. And then I started looking at things. I saw they laid off like 13,000 people, which companies do that all the time, right? That their layoffs
Yeah.
is they should be doing it now with AI, right? Everything should be more automated. So they should be laying off people if AI is taking more of the grunt work. So we'll see what happens. So be on the lookout. If it does happen, you heard it from me first, and then give me credit. But if not, you heard nothing. You
That's
know
right.
nothing.
If you're not, it's somebody else's fault.
Somebody else's fault. Yes. Other than that, friends, we're ready to go. I see Andrews in chat on YouTube, ready to
Yeah,
rock and roll. I see his list is out. Brian's list is out. Maybe we go over
it's
those,
true.
Peter.
Yeah, Brian's going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, AMD, CoreWeave, which is one we haven't. He's just got a swing trade on that. We didn't talk about that at all this morning. And Andrew's going to be watching the usual characters here with NVIDIA, AMD, Tesla, and Broadcom. So Brian says he's going to add Ion Q. There's another one we haven't talked about this morning, but it's Ion Q is a tough one. We've talked about this in the past. Every look at its trading, it moves, but it does these like it moves in a very funny manner. Like it'll aggressively go in one direction or the other. I find it very hard to predict that. So if you're on the right side of
Yep.
it, it's awesome. If you're on the wrong side of it, it's not awesome. So
Yep. Yep. Um. So yes. So yeah. In chat, yeah, going under doesn't mean that they're gonna go out of business and you're gonna be screwed. Somebody will buy them out, right? They'll do bankruptcy. It's a whole process. Like we've
yeah.
seen so many small banks. Like if you look at Chase and if you look at their history of all the banks that have merged under Chase, it's incredible.
Hmm.
Washington Mutual, Chemical Bank. Like this, there's a list of all these banks that open up that eventually get sucked in by the big guys, right? So the same thing will happen here. I mean, how many telecommunication companies have we seen? Have we been through, right? And T-Mobile's bought a few of them. AT&T bought a few of them or merged them into their thing. Same thing happens with airlines, right? You got your four major ones, and if airlines go under, that major airlines take over, so you're not gonna lose. It's just gonna be merged to something bigger, and that's usually what happens. Um, in that case, so all right, we're all set. Oh, Peter, here's a question: why do new aircrafts have the no smoking signal on? I don't understand that. Like, if a brand new aircraft that came out recent years, built 10 years ago, why do they have the no smoking signal? What's the point of that? You can't smoke on almost any airline. So what is the reason of putting the signal on there?
It's a good question. Yeah, maybe
Uh,
vaping. Kyle's saying for vaping to let
you
just
can't do any type of vaping or smoking. So why even
uh,
have a logo? I don't get that part.
uh,
Yeah, are there some
no,
airlines that allow
that's a good
smoking?
question. Maybe it's just more historical than anything else. You're right, because they don't say like no explosives or no handguns or no
Right.
any
It's
of the
just
other
no.
things that you're not allowed to do.
I don't get
Um,
that.
yeah, I mean it could be Raf also brings up cultural reasons. I mean, I suppose if you're building the plane, you're doing it for a global consumption, and some parts of the world don't have the same smoking rules that we do, so it might be might be more applicable than we consider it to be in North America. So I don't know,
Yeah.
but
All right. I see Andrew's
yeah.
ready to go, guys. We'll let you guys to it. Have a great trading day. And we will continue
There you go.
Oh,
All
there you
right.
go.
Trade
All right.
smart, everybody. Whatever you're doing, just be smart. This whole
Absolutely.
week, treat it like a whole bunch of Fridays.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing, man. I'm ready. Like I'm so holiday ready, man. We started with the weekend. We went to a Christmas show on one of the local churches here. They do it every year, which is really nice. They put a lot of work into it for the kids and everything. So I am in like Christmas mode. Friday every day this week.
Ah,
All right. Let's see. Now you mentioned Baba, Carlos. I took a peek at it. Looks good today. Oh, Baba is one of my favorite Chinese tickers, man. Favorite. It looks okay. Yeah, I see what you're looking at. Possible bounce here, but man, it has let us down so many times, Peter. Every time we look at it. So, but if Melanie's calling it out, we have to at least put it on a secondary because Melanie's been with us for a long time. She knows what she's doing. So we'll put Bob on secondary. All right. Good morning, Christian. Good to see you. What else? I agree with the whole bunch of Fridays discipline. Yeah, I agree. I like. I know. I like that. That's a good one, Peter. A bunch of Fridays today.
it's a week of Fridays.
Week of Fridays. I like that, and it's so true. Feels like that. And you're right too. Like I went on the road, and why is this thing? Let's close this here. When I took the kids to school, you could tell too that it's much lighter the traffic. I was in and out quickly.
So are your kids actually at school today?
Yeah, they got school this whole week, man.
Well,
I think they're off
today. Oh.
I think they have a half a day Wednesday or something. I don't know. They're off Friday. I have no idea. But yeah, they got school. Or they get a winter recess break. I don't know. I'll find out when my wife tells me you don't got to prepare them to go to school today. Okay, great.
Right.
That's when I'll find out what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, because I was asking my wife, do you think schools are open? She tends to know all these schedules. And because I left something at a school where I play pickleball on the weekends. I'm like, oh, if I don't get it now, I'll be gone for the holidays and I'll never find it. But
Yes, agree.
I know
There's
exactly where I left it, but only
Yeah,
helps
there's
if it's
some
still
things
there.
like if you don't get it within like the 24, 48 hours, and you go into the weekend, forget it. It's like, and then something's got to get right back right away, or else forget it, you'll never see it.
Yep.
That is true. All right, friends. We're ready. We got Tesla. Ooh, Tesla. I don't think it's gonna hit 500, but I think I might be wrong because the 8 ball said otherwise. And look at it go now, 490. But I don't think it will. I'm on the no team on this one. So we'll have to see.
A holiday. Oh, yeah. Winter break.
Oh,
Yeah, the school is closed. School is closed. All right, so that's no good for me. Not getting my water bottle back.
Yeah. Any maintenance? Usually maintenance people go. But yes, it's hard to plan that. All right. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Yes, it is. I cannot agree with you more on that.
All right, there's my 1 minute alarm.
Yeah.
So we are on the last minute.
Let's see here. All right. Let's go market. One or two really nice trades and we're good. We don't ask for much. That's all we need here. All right, Tesla making the move here. NVIDIA, Oracle, Apple, MU. All right, let's see what we get.
Oh. Sorry,
7 minutes.
busy focused on something here. All right, let's here we go. Here's the opening bell. Carlos, and oh my God, look at Tesla dropping.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Let's get the market atlas out. See what the market atlas is telling us, friends.
There we go. I did it, Carlos.
Long
I
Tesla.
did it. I did. Here, I'll put it
Yes,
on the
Peter.
screen. I
Very
went long
nice.
Tesla. I just took a partial. I got it like $2 on that.
Very nice. Very nice.
See if we can get higher. I'll actually I'm gonna move my stop up just a little bit above break. Oh, I got stopped at break even. Okay, I'm out. Apparently. Okay.
It's so quick.
Wow. Look at
Yeah.
that. All right, that's okay. I did it. We said it goes long at the open all the time. I gave it a shot. I went long. It actually, I had to suffer all the way down to the bottom of that wick before it came back up. So that was a little nerve-wracking. But
Yeah. Yep.
so, but all right, I made a couple of bucks just because we keep talking about the trade. I thought, I got to go do it. So
Nice. Gotta go be part of
uh,
history. All
yeah.
right. Let's see.
Oh man. Oh no. Now of course Tesla's going to go higher. Look at that. Woo.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
NVIDIA is dropping. Broadcom is dropping. AMD is dropping. Warner Brothers doing nothing yet. Rocket Lab is shooting up here this morning.
Yep. 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 Oh. Wow. AVGO. $6 drop into the market open. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to hold
Oh,
on to the previous day close.
495, Carlos. 496 now on Tesla. Oh, I should have jumped right back in there. Look at that. That trade worked.
Yeah.
Andrew, of
Yeah.
course, is long. He's long through TSLL. Tesla's pretty reliable on that trade. You got to
It,
handle
it,
the ups and
yeah. Gotta
downs.
handle the craziness, but Tesla is constantly, man.
Hmm. Hmm. It's getting close. Remember that will it get over 500? If it stays up this close to it, it's almost certain to break through.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. It just has to touch higher, and the magic 8 ball will be proven correct. Once again, we'll see. I don't want to count those chickens, but you, Carlos, you're not in anything yet. Still just watching.
No, still watching, man.
All
Still
right,
watching.
that's good. There's just 3.5 minutes in here. Lots of time.
Yeah, yeah. Didn't find any good 1 minute ORBs. Maybe a 5 minute
No.
ORB would be
Well,
nice. So
don't forget, it's a Monday, Friday. So
wait for it, wait for it.
look at that Tesla move.
Tesla is ripping. 500 seems
496.
like it's gonna be no problem for it
Oh,
today. The 8 ball is gonna deliver.
oh.
Let's see.
If I'd held on, I was in under 490, Carlos. That would have been a
Yeah,
great move there. My goodness. Oh well. I don't regret that too much because at least I got in. I put my stop at break even. Again, I didn't want the risk of a big downside move, so I'm okay with it. Nvidia dropping, AMD dropping.
all right. We're coming up on the 5 minute ORB. Wow, Nvidia's a great short, man. It just keeps going.
Netflix is dropping here this morning too.
Going
All right.
red here.
So we got
Oh.
Apple's not doing much.
long bias on NVIDIA. Uh, we'll have to see. Right now, it looks pretty weak. Like, if it cannot get above this VWAP and in golf, that's a tough short. I'm sitting long trade here, so we'll have to see. Oracle above the VWAP as well. Tesla, low consolidation at 496 here. NVIDIA, it's a beautiful pullback. That's a great pullback. That is one of my plays. I should have been in on this. Wow, that's nice. That is nice. Tesla's 5 minute, I'm sorry, Nvidia's 5 minute RB breakdown is just so clean. Pullback right to the VWAP. You're about to get a dollar now if you're in above 193. Let's see. 183, excuse me, 183 right here. See if we can get the drop. You're in Nvidia short. Yeah, that was a beautiful pullback and the drop. Oracle retesting the VWAP here. So Oracle's trying to do some stuff. And yeah, I don't see anything else at the moment that I love, friends. Maybe Oracle long. Oracle could be a good long here. Let's see if it's gonna hold.
I don't have Oracle on. Let's put Oracle up here. Oracle.
Let's see.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go long here. VWAP breakout, maybe hopefully engulfing pattern too. But I'm trading as a VWAP breakout. Here's a breakout candle pullback confirmation. And if we can combine this with a 5 minute engulfing, hopefully that can help. But I don't know. We'll have to see. 196 is our stop.
You know, I should have ranted about. I could.
What's that? What's that?
Could have ranted about. I could have ranted about trains. Just rant about trains. I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah.
What about trains? I like trains.
No, trains are great.
Oh, okay.
North American trains suck.
Yeah. Well, man.
My daughter's taking the train back tonight, so I was just looking up the train schedule, and I looked up the train schedule, and I was looking at the first two arrivals of the trains at the station where I'd be picking her up, and the first one is delayed by 5 minutes, the second one's delayed by 27 minutes. So I'm just, who knows how far delayed her train will be, or if they'll make it up. But it just made me think, like, I was talking to a friend that had recently been to Japan, and Japan are notorious for their excellent train service, right? Like, they are just right on schedule. And they said, like, they were on a train, one of those high-speed trains, where it was delayed by a minute 20. And not only did they get an apology letter, but they refunded the cost of their train ticket. Because they said, we are so, we are basically, the letter more or less said, we're embarrassed by our service. We apologize. We'll give you your money back. And like, a minute 20. Carlos, we wouldn't even think, that's not even considered a delay in North America. But for them, that's unconscionable. Like, I think something like 99.8% of all their trains are on time within 5 seconds. Like, it's that level of precision that they run to. It's amazing. So, anyways, all right, let's watching the market here. Tesla stopped it really just made that initial move higher. Now it's hanging out in an area where it's absolutely within shooting distance of that $500 mark. So it feels like it's going to touch it today.
Yeah, this is a good rest here for it to go higher. I am out of my Oracle, came down to stop me out, so I'm out of that. But
oh no. Oh wow!
Yeah,
Oracle
it failed
hard. Look at that.
Yeah, NVIDIA back up, but yeah, Tesla. Yeah, man, this is good. I have to stick to my note because that's what I betted on. But this move here and this consolidation, you're what, $3-4 away at times. Very doable today.
Right.
Very doable. MU, AMD. Everything else is red. Rocket Lab is okay. But for the most part, everything else from the open is, besides Tesla, everything just been giving money back. Very interesting. Tesla's the only one. Let's see what else we have. That's POTR. Oh yeah, POTR is another one that I did not have this on my list, but look at that. And wants to go higher. Any news on POTR, guys? I mean, this is nice.
Hey, this feels like
I feel like I had this on my list all last week, and
yeah, I took it off my list
today,
today because I
right?
looks like
Today does this.
no. The last news I see on them was last week where they got that contract extension with the U.S. Army.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big one,
So,
right?
which is good, but that's not new. That was last week's news.
Yeah. NVIDIA, you're sure NVIDIA, Beth? Wow, look at Oracle. Oracle is getting destroyed here. 193 now. And this is why you got to stop out, because it doesn't have to come back. Look at this thing. Just plummeting. Take the dollar loss, and if not, you're going to lose 3. You could lose 3. So take the loss and save yourself some money. Nice. It's a good short, man. I wouldn't short it above the VWAP, but it's a great short once you lost VWAP here. So congrats. Congrats, congrats. 193, and looks like it wants to go lower. Tesla up at VWAP. Yeah, I think Tesla, even though it's at VWAP, I think the momentum is wants to go, just keeps going higher here. So I don't know. I wouldn't short it just yet. I think this is a very strong stock, and you gotta be careful, man. I think this thing wants to
Absolutely.
go higher. Might not hit 500, but I think it'll. I personally think, and just guessing, I might at least want to retest that 497 again, at 496.74. But yeah, short here. Even if it does go below the V up, it's gonna be a tough one. Andrew's good. Andrew did he took Tesla long TSLL, partial out a couple of times already, added partial out some more, so he's already done good on this trade here. I think he's adding on this pullback here as well right now. So not right now, but a few minutes ago for the push up, which I think that's what's gonna happen. I think Tesla might just go up and retest that high of the day at least one more time. That's my thoughts before it decides to break down here.
I think that's very reasonable. But as expected, guys, remember what I said, like treat it like a whole series of Fridays, and we are getting quieting of the market pretty quick, isn't it? Like we had, motion at the open. We're only 14 minutes into this market, and it's already feeling like things are calming down. So the volume, interesting. We got a little bit of a disparity on volume. The SPY's volume is at 67%, but the Qs are at 92%. So we've got some things that are moving, like Tesla's volume's at 140%, PLTR at 180 right now, whereas other things like Apple and let's see, Apple and Amazon and Meta and Microsoft are all between 60 and 80%. So volumes are okay, but not super awesome.
What do we have, friends? Spaghetti and
Brian's watching
QBTS.
Ion Q. It's moving for him. IONQ. What's it doing? Oh wow. Yeah, big move higher here on IONQ.
Yeah, even Rigetti and
Oh,
QBTS,
what is
they're
it?
all going too.
Oh, and sorry, Ravinder, good question. Sorry, the percentages I was giving you are the percentage of the volume we're seeing so far compared to its average volume. So basically, I'm saying that, the overall market is trading at 68% of its average volume, which would tell me there's less shares on average going through. Now, not everything's at that same average, right? Like NVIDIA this morning's at 90% its average volume. Micron is trading 200%. So meaning that it's twice its average daily volume. But yeah, I just use it as a gauge of how active are things. That's called RVOL if you're looking for that in a lot of systems. Relative volume is what it stands for. RVOL. So no problem. It's a good question. Don't be afraid to ask those questions. Sometimes we use shorthand or things that we just make the assumption that people know what the heck we're talking about. So it's a very reasonable thing to ask.
Yes. All right, Tesla's going higher.
Yeah, I see that.
There it is, 496. Very nice.
Let's see what it can do.
Andrew is long in this move here in chat. Guys, if you want to see Andrew train live, head over to bearwithtrace.com and you can sign up there and see Andrew and Brian. Brian with his hat today, his Christmas hat.
Yeah,
Right?
you
Feeling
join
very
the party.
festive. Yes.
Yeah, why not?
TT down? No, TT's not down. I was able to get in it. Oh, it's working for me. And I'm not special by any means, so should work for you. Yeah, it's working. 20 Celsius. What is that? Like 40 degrees? What's 20 Celsius? No, it's actually more, right?
No, that's warm. That's quite warm. That would be like 80 degrees.
80 degrees. Wow.
No, 20?
Nice.
No, no, 20, sorry, it would be more like 70 degrees, something like
Okay.
that. Let's see. 20, 20 C. I don't know. Why don't you just use like real temperature instead of this Fahrenheit crap, like the rest of the world?
We want to be different, Peter. We have to be
20,
different.
yeah. 68. Sorry, 68 degrees Fahrenheit is what 20 is. So there you go. And what I find is, for the Americas, which is proudly independent, right? You had the famous Boston Tea Party, you declared independence from the British Empire, and yet you use imperial measurements. Why? You think you'd be the first one to want to adopt metric system and get away from imperial measurements. I mean, your base unit of measure is the foot, which is based on the size of the king's foot, reputedly. But like, it seems ridiculous. Anyways,
Yeah.
and the, and the
Would be
whole you make
easier.
the whole world manufacturers. See, Zeus, that doesn't even make sense anymore because 98% of all manufacturing is done outside of the US and 98% of the world uses metric. So they all have to convert just to import back into the US. So you love the
Yeah.
king, not the parliament. Anyways. Yeah, I'm sure there's historic reasons. I mean, we know there are, and then people fought because they didn't want to make the change. I mean, officially, the U.S. is actually metric. The metric system was adopted in the U.S. back, Carlos, I can't remember, like a long time ago, 30, 40 years ago, something like that. But, unofficially, they just refused. People just said, no, and I have to admit, like I'm Canadian, we adopted metric came into play the year I was born in 1970. And I mean, if I was going to talk about my height, I don't say I'm 182 centimeters. I'm 6'1". I don't measure
Hmm.
myself in kilos. I measure in pounds. So we're very we are mixed here, admittedly. All right,
Yeah.
Tesla though, 198. Just hit 198. I'm still watching it. We're
Yeah.
$2 away from that magic number. And boy, do I wish I'd jumped back into it after the open, but oh well.
Let's see. It's rocking here, friends. 499 coming up. MU at the VWAP doing some stuff. AMD continues slower.
Oh, here we go.
All right. I'm sticking with my no, but let's see.
Okay. Carlos is not going to give it up yet.
No, I can't give it up. I'm committed. I'm gonna be the right or wrong. There's no way around it.
All right.
And it's looking more. It's looking more wrong than right. I mean, you can't go against the 8-ball. The 8-ball will crush you, man. The 8-ball, forget about it. Does the fuel indicator indicate Santa Claus rally? I don't know, man. I have no idea. No clue whatsoever. But the only things running right now seems to be tech. I mean, tech is just taking off here. Everything else is pretty quiet for the most part.
Yeah.
Big order at 500. Oh, I'm sure if we get close to that 500, it's going to be mayhem. I'm sure there's going to be tons of orders being transacted there. Oh no, Corey. Hopefully they figure things out.
What's going on?
Having tech issues with DAS. It happens, man. Can't be worse than having tech issues with SAP. We used to have that back in my 9 to 5. That was something. Oh my goodness. This is nothing compared to what we dealt with these companies. I'm ready to partial Tesla at 500. Let's see, man. I'm here for it. If you're long, I'm rooting for you. But let's see. Let's see what it does.
I hope it works.
498. Battling 498.83 is the high here of the day right now, and should also be your new all-time high as well. 498.83. I think last one was 496-ish something. So that is a new all-time high there's on Tesla. Making history.
Could have been
baby.
there, Carlos. I could have been part of history.
You could have been there. Oh yeah.
I was long, history. And I unfortunately had to come back and stop me out. Hey, hello, Sean. By the way, saying hi to us. Appreciate that.
Sean, where you been, Sean? You late, man. We're gonna dock your hours. What's going on? Sean is a good dock your viewing hours. I don't know what that even mean, but it just sounds good. Good to see you, man. All right, here we are. We're also on X, so we got friends on X too. I see Josh was over there on X doing his thing.
All right. Yes, I keep forgetting about that. Hello, everybody hanging out on X. In fact, I should call X. X.com.
But they're quiet over there. They don't talk as much as our YouTube people. No, they're very quiet. Put them side by side.
Get to variable traders.
But if you do chat, I'll follow you. If you chat there, I'll definitely follow you on X. As we grow that platform.
No.
I like some features that X has. I hope YouTube copies them. I like this feature where instead of you can go to a comment, for example, I'm going to do Ben right here. I can reply right there to Ben just by hitting the arrow. And then it says replying to Ben. See, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. I like that. It's easy. Opposed on YouTube, I got to go like this and type a name. It's a lot longer. So hopefully YouTube can copy. That's pretty cool. Mr. Davidson, you said it's quiet. Good to see you. Good to see you guys.
Wow, come on. All the orders on Tesla are sitting at 500. The problem is nobody's interested in any price other than 500.
Mm.
Sometimes that happens. You get too many people just focused on that. You need enough people that are willing to,
In
sort of
between.
buy and sell on the way. Yeah.
Ah, too much pressure, baby. Let's see. 495. We're
Mhm.
coming back down. Hopefully taking some parcels. I mean 498. If you're in anywhere, close to that, that's a good place to take some off. That's pretty good. Especially if you got in at below 499, 496, 95 lower. I mean, that's a really nice move. Ah, there we go. We got some people here over on X. Hello. Ah, yeah, see, they're live. Yes. X is alive. All right, I'm going to start following people. And I like this. I like this too here. One more thing on the YouTube, on X. I like that you can click on someone. Let's say, for example, here. I lost it. Click too many things.
Right.
And you can follow them right away. Like if I click here, well, I don't want to go to the profile, but I did the day. It's the picture. Oh yeah, I guess you could do it this way. Follow. There's a way to follow even easier.
Oh.
But I do like that. Click there and we can follow our friends back. Fan from Canada. A lot of Canadian people. Let's go. All right, we can follow you back. Awesome. It's a nice background picture. What is this? It's a chair in the middle of nowhere. I want to trade from there. I like that. Talk about not belonging.
Very random.
Very random. Like just doesn't belong, but I don't mind sitting there. It looks like a great place to trade. Hopefully connection is good. All right. Beautiful thing.
Hopefully connection's good. You're gonna need your satellite connection there.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
So here's a random question I was thinking this weekend, because I'm always thinking about cars. And I was wondering this weekend, is it acceptable to buy a Tesla again? You know how there's a period of time where people are always like, they had the bumper stickers. I bought this before Elon went crazy. Is it like, is it okay again?
Yeah, it's gone. That's not, nobody does a Tesla like that anymore. They don't care. Yeah, people don't care, man.
No.
That was very short-lived.
It was.
You know why? Because the car is so damn good. Like, if you drive this car, I'm telling you, it is so good. Everything just makes it's it's one of the most efficient cars to drive. Like if you don't care about like actually driving, it's one of the most efficient cars to be in. Charge it at home, never got to stop at a gas station. That how much time you save just on that, and money too, but more time.
Alicia's clearly not a fan. Alicia, what better electric cars are there out there? Because I'd honestly like to know. I'm not sure I can bring myself to buy a Tesla at this point, but I don't know. Like I keep hesitating because I don't really need another car. It would be a convenience, but I don't really need.
Well, there are some better ones like Lucid. That's a much better car, but that's gonna run you 100 and change if you get the right one. Right? Yeah, so now everybody's gonna pay. Now everybody's gonna pay 100 and change. Right, you're not gonna pay $100,000 for a car, but that one's a real nice one. Looks awesome.
Yeah,
but that's not for the everyday people. Peter, yes, but not everyday people. They're not gonna pay that. They can pay $60,000 on a Tesla. It's affordable, but not everybody can afford 150. Okay, the Mercedes-Benz one, the one that's all electric, that one is great too. But again, are you gonna pay 120?
Really?
Of course not. Yeah. Oh, it looks awesome. It looks amazing. The BMW 7 Series all electric. The BMW 7 Series all electric, that thing looks like a house. It's beautiful. But you're not going to pay 150. It's beautiful, Peter. Beautiful with the kidneys and everything. Oh, the 7 Series is amazing. But you're not going to pay 150, right? So
look at we got the argument going today now. Look at this. People are arguing as to what's better.
So there are better cars out there.
There you go. I should just go the other way. Buy myself like a Toyota Hilux, just the indestructible Toyota pickup truck. I don't even know. Do they even sell them?
That thing is so ugly, man.
Canada.
I think it's so.
It's utilitarian, man. It's. I remember in Australia, they were all over the place. People buy because they'd use them out and use them out on the farms and everything, and they're great. They get the job done, man.
I don't know, man. it's, it's too much. Too much. Now, if you're outdoor, looking to sit somewhere, like we saw our friend here with the chair out in the mountains in the woods. Yeah, okay, I get it. But other than that, man, it's just too much.
Wow,
But I get it.
Tesla's really
Oh
pulling
yeah,
back
Tesla
here.
is really rejecting here. It said not
Yeah,
today, 500, or at least not right now.
not right now. Yeah,
Not right
for
now.
sure.
But let's see. The April's got a couple of days left here still. How many trading days left for the year? Is it 7?
That's a
No,
good
it's got to be
question.
more. Trading
No,
days.
I don't think it's actually more than that because we only have. Well, do you count Wednesday as a full day or because it's a half day?
There's still a
Then we
day.
count that as a half. All right, so not including today, then if we only have like 5.5 trading
Oh,
days
even
left in the
less.
year,
Okay.
yeah, that doesn't include today. But
Yep. Yep.
because I'm pretty sure the 31st is a full regular day. Let's just
Yeah.
find out here. Let's just New York Stock Exchange closed Thursday. So the market's going to be closed Thursday, January the 1st. But yeah, it's open regular hours other than the New Year's Day. So yeah, 5.5 after not including today. There you go. Not a lot of time. This is not the time to try and make your year, right?
Oh, no, 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 no. Or even your
You can
month.
break your year in five and a
Yes.
or your month, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not,
Again,
man. And
you
yeah.
can break your year in 5.5 days. You can't make it.
That is so true.
That's the
That
reality.
is great, Peter. That's the reality. You can break your year in 5.5 days. You
Yep.
cannot make your year in 5.5 days. That is great.
Yeah.
So yeah, yep.
So Sean, the market is closed. It's not closed the 26th. The 26th is a regular day, regular hours. The 24th, the market's only open until 1. So it closes 3 hours early. And then the 25th, of course, it's closed all day. So
Peter, what will you pick? Mitsubishi, Outlander, Toyota, RAV4, and why?
the funny thing is, I like the look of the Outlander better than the Toyota. I have to admit, I don't trust Mitsubishi vehicles. I just have the gut feeling that it'll give me 2 years and then start to have problems and be dead within 4. Whereas the RAV4 will do nothing exciting, but it'll do it for the next
Run forever.
15 years.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. You know?
a hundred
So
percent.
so I think if I had to go, I would go with the RAV4. Even though
Yeah,
it's going to be like it's not going to excite me. I'll get in and I'll go, ugh. But I'll get there. I'll get there. I'll get
yeah.
back. I won't have to worry about it.
And the new one doesn't
So,
look so bad. The older models look, ugh, but the new one actually looks pretty good.
yeah, I maybe I
A
haven't
little
seen the new
rounder
one,
now.
but
Yeah, it's a little rounder, I think, and
mm,
it looks much better. Like I can get myself caught in that. That's okay. That's all right.
oh, Ellie's saying no. The Outlander has a 10-year warranty. I see again, warranty. Again, I don't know. You're right. What I just said is based on my perception. There's no fact behind that. There's no data
Yeah,
supporting
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's just how I feel about it. So, but that was your question. What would I do based on that? That's what I do. Even if it has a 10-year warranty, even if the RAV4 only came with a 3-year warranty, I still would believe that it would last longer than the Outlander. Again, whether that's
Yeah.
true or not, I have no
I
idea.
feel for some reason I feel the same way. I just
Yeah.
Toyotas and Hondas, man, these things last forever. They build like tanks, man. It's just built to take hits and
Yeah.
just keep on going. Um,
They're
so
generally they're good cars for like if you just want to mistreat a vehicle, then you
yeah,
probably want to just get a you probably want to get a Honda or a Toyota because somehow they can take it.
they can.
if you want to treat it and maintain it well and take care of it, then you've got a much wider range of cars that you can get, frankly. But yeah, if you just want to get a car that you're like, I'm not going to take care of this. So be honest with yourself. How well are you going to maintain it?
Yeah.
If you're if you're lucky to have enough oil that the engine doesn't seize, then you may want to consider just getting a Honda or a Toyota and being done with it. Your Jeep Compass, really, Beth? See, that's really you'd get another one. See, that's not a highly rated customer satisfaction vehicle.
Jeep Compass. Beth didn't
Mm.
commit. She didn't commit. She went halfway on the Jeep. She's like, I want a Jeep,
Oh,
but I don't want a Jeep. She didn't commit.
oh, oh
You didn't do
no.
the full commitment of the Jeep Cherokee, huh? It's okay.
Oh
It's
my.
okay.
Look,
I
now
understand.
Carlos is expressing an opinion here. All right.
I get it. I get it. Listen,
There's
Jeep
there's
Cherokee is
there's this video I ran across on the weekend, Carlos, of and I don't know whether it was staged or if it was real or not. If it was real, then this guy needs a divorce right away. But he videotaped, he gave his wife as a present a Jeep Wagoneer. You know, like that big Jeep SUV? They're overpriced. They're super expensive. But anyways, he gave her anyways a brand new Jeep Wagoneer because she said she wanted a big vehicle for the family. And she just immediately started to complain because she said it's not a Cadillac. I said I wanted a Cadillac.
Oh, I seen
How
that
much did you
video.
pay for this?
It's got that's
Like
I'm hoping that's fake because that is fake. But yeah, I know what you're talking
it
about.
feels like it's got to be fake. Because how do you? Anyways, that's I hope it's fake for sure. But anyways, but it's one of
Yeah.
those where it's
It's it's not a Cadillac.
it's not a Cadillac, so it's garbage to me. I'm like, wow, that's like.
It's
She doesn't
insane.
even know why she wanted a Cadillac, just because she wants the badge, right? Wants the
Yeah.
name, which I can understand because I have to admit, when I think of cars, I'm always like, am I a Mercedes type of guy? I just can't picture myself driving around
No,
in a
you're not a
Mercedes,
Mercedes. You're more
which is
Audi,
weird.
BMW type guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am. But even a Beamer, do I want to be driving a Beamer? I don't know.
For the type of cars you like, I think you
Oh.
enjoy Beamer or Audi. I'm gonna try long Oracle friends one more time here. So Oracle long
You know
for
what
the VI breakout.
the thing I regret
Let's
is
see.
my
Huh?
Honda Pilot is still one of the favorite vehicles I've ever owned. That thing
Really?
was a tank. The Honda
Yeah.
Pilot was, oh, it was great. I love that thing. I have to admit, I'm very biased because that car literally saved my life on a couple occasions. Like I fell asleep, Carlos, at the wheel
Mm-hmm.
on the interstate in the US.
Oh, that's not good. How
Yeah,
fast are you
and
going?
ran into the highway speed. So we were doing like, I was probably set the cruise control at 65, 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's
And
pretty fast.
I ran into the concrete barrier.
Oh,
And that's when I woke up. And I walked away with just cosmetic scratches on the side of it, and I bent one wheel rim,
yeah.
and I'm like, I trust the car with my life ever since. It was crazy, and I fell asleep because I was driving when I shouldn't. I was taking my daughter down to visit a universities, so this is many
Mm-hmm.
years ago, and it was one of those, full week of work. I was working the corporate job, and I
Mm.
was driving her down, and it was like 2 a.m., and I should have stopped, and no, I could do it. I could push through. I learned a
Sleep
lesson
doesn't.
that day.
Yeah.
Thank God nobody's injured. And the worst thing, of course, is I could care less about the car at the end of the day. It was I almost injured my daughter, right? And that's the thing that
Yeah.
sticks with you. And after
Oh
that,
yeah.
you're like, never again am I
Yeah.
gonna do anything that stupid. So
Yeah. Sleep is no
yeah,
joke, man. Sleep
yeah,
sleep is because it gets you. You find yourself dozing off, and next thing you know, your eyes are shut for like 5 seconds. Like, what just happened?
yeah,
And the next time it happened, it's
yeah,
10 to 15 seconds. You don't even know it. You don't even know it. And that's what they say.
yep,
Like, usually that what you could drive drunk. I'm not saying you should. I'm against this completely. You can drive drunk and get to where you need to get to, and you can actually do very good. What happens is you fall asleep, and that's the problem. You
yeah,
fall. Many people they don't drive. They don't crash because they're drunk. They crash because they fall asleep. And that's the issue. So
yep.
yeah,
It's
sleep is big problem, man. Um, happened to me one time. I hit the guardrail too. Thank God for the guardrail and the cement divider because man, if you don't have those and you hit a tree, this is where it gets dangerous.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Yeah, no,
yeah.
the guardrails or the concrete barrier saved my life. We ended up with a car up on a 45-degree angle on this concrete
Mm-hmm.
barrier and sparks shooting out from the rims. And I'm like, what
Yeah.
the hell? Anyways, yeah, I was shaken after that. But anyway, so lesson learned. But my point is that
Yeah.
the pilot, and maybe it wasn't the pilot, any large vehicle might have done the same, but it had my trust after that. I did love that thing. It was great. It would take it. It did anything. My kids finally destroyed it, but
Mm.
they beat the snot out of it before it finally died. So, so if anything, I would get a Honda Pilot just because I have fond memories. The problem is I want like more of a luxury vehicle nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pilot is utilitarian. All right, Tesla really pulled back from that high, quite dramatically. In fact, $12 now from the high to where it sits, and it's below where it opened on the day. So that would actually have been a good short. I wasn't that
Yeah, it's
convinced it was going to make this big of a pullback, but
yeah, this is not good. Look at that, man. This would have been a much better. I did not trust the VI breakdown here, and I was right. Look at the push up. But here would have been a different story. But I wasn't watching it here actually. I was looking at Oracle, so I am long Oracle, which we are trying to get a push here, but it's just struggling right now. So we'll see where it goes. How do I overcome trader's block, like taking a trade after a while? I mean, just trust your strategy, right? Like I'm taking trades that are only in my strategy in my trade book. Um, and that it takes a while sometimes. Like the VI breakout, I
yeah,
can wait for this an hour or two before we take a first trade. So my first trade was very early on for a VI breakout, and I also had a 5 minute ORB. Did not work out, and then I just been waiting for a VI breakout, and I got one here on NVIDIA. So I just trust my strategy, right? Trust my strategy. Wait for the actual setup, and don't force it, right? And it can take. Look, this trade. How long we been open now? An hour and not even 45 minutes
not even
or so.
45 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah, so it took a while from maybe 30 minutes from my last trade, but I'm just waiting. I'm just hunting. I'm just sitting here waiting for my strategy to set up. And here's one. We took it long, and let's see if we're gonna get the payout. Another one that could have been good was Tesla, but again, I wasn't watching this. So look at this beautiful breakdown. Look at that pullback. This confirmation here is really clean. So if you're watching this one, this could have been a short for the BY breakdown. And that's just it. Just trust your strategies and know that, it can take a while. It can take a while. So we've been sitting here, we've been chatting, but we've just been waiting for our strategy to show up. So we might have one here. Let's see if we can get to 196 or higher. 196.50 will be amazing. I'll definitely take a partial there. But let's see. And it takes time, right? Like it takes time to, if you haven't traded in a while, to actually take trades after a long time waiting. It takes time to get comfortable with that. What you don't want to do is you don't want to do the opposite where you're taking trades just to take trades. That will kill you, because you're going to end up
yeah,
taking stuff that's not in your strategy, that's not in your trade book, and you're just going to be just, guessing at that point. Is it Mr. Davis or the extreme is really behind? Make sure you click the live button because I did notice that it seems like a little more behind than YouTube. But let me see here. Let's look at this. I'm on it now. Yeah, just make sure you hit the live button to bring you all the way up to where you need to be. Here's how I can tell if we're behind, how behind we are. So I'll usually bring, YouTube is pretty good. It should be a couple of seconds. But I'll usually bring up the clock. All right. And now look at the stream and see how behind is it. No, it's not that bad. It's like five seconds on X. It's not bad at all, actually. It's not bad at all. Do you get commissions per like? Yes, Peter gets paid, I think about $5 per like. So
$5 now.
five
Wow,
dollars
that's
per
gone
like,
up.
yeah. The new
Oh,
contract that we have here. I'm gonna parcel
I,
here, friends.
I had no idea.
Oh,
Oh, Carlos,
nice.
there you go. Take
Yeah, getting a
that.
move here, man. 197. Let's see. We can get 197. So one parcel. Oh man, this is beautiful. All right. Another one here, friends. Just in case. We're coming up towards the high of the day. Let's see
Well done.
here. Very nice, very nice. All right, so two partials. I'm gonna see if we can get to. I got 197.98, which is our high of our pre-market. I want to say, yeah, have the pre-market here, and then we got the high of the day that we're battling right now. So let's see if we can get above that 197.46. It's that level. So, yeah. So just make sure on
Good.
YouTube that you're hitting live and you're staying as live as possible. Um,
One that's moved well this morning is Rigetti. Rigetti actually made a good move higher. Oh, telephone.
yeah, telephone. It's my mom. I'm gonna call her. See what's going on. Be right back.
All right. Well, it's funny how my noise canceling seems to cancel all this stuff out now, but we heard Carlos has come through. All right. Well, hopefully Carlos has set a stop on his trade in case it moves against him, but Oracle is doing well. He made a good move on that. That's his signature type of trade with this VWAP break support on the way through. He actually took that a little earlier than I would have expected, but it did end up working out for him, obviously. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you can hit that thumbs up, the like, we deeply appreciate that. So a little bit quieter as we give you the heads up, right? Expect the volumes to be a little bit lower. They're not actually haven't been that bad this morning. Tesla's volumes well over its average. So, but of course, when you're breaking all-time highs, you can sort of expect that to happen a little bit more. Um, but it's not alone. I mean, Micron's volume's 170% of its usual, and I'm actually surprised AMD is actually over its average volume too. That price hasn't been as good here this morning, but it's been over its average. It's fascinating. I've got this chart. Let's see if I can put this on the screen. Oh, he's not sharing. Carlos isn't sharing my screen. But AMD has moved down this morning. But if you look at it, it's basically right back to the previous day close. And it sort of makes sense when you look at it. If you exclude all of the pre-market data, you would expect AMD's price to move back right into this range because this is pretty much where it traded for most of the afternoon or the last hour and a half of the trading market on Friday. So, so it looks like Oracle is not going to really hit that target Carlos had for it. It looks like he got partial right at the high, and but it's not too late for it to bounce, of course. But he's got a good entry, so he can afford to wait for a while. Might actually be good for him being on the phone if he's not paying attention to his trade, because you know how he likes to get out of things early. We'll say quickly. Where do you see the average volumes? Trader Lexi, that's a good question. I'm doing it in my DAS platform. It's a setting called RVOL in Trading Terminal. Let's see if I can figure that out for you. Hmm. Let's open the application here. I don't know if it's, I'm not sure if they have that available. Let's find out. Simulator.
All right. Let's see what we got here, friends.
Studies. Welcome back.
Yes, back we are.
Averages, volume. Let's see if it's got any volume settings. Change volume chart. On balance volume? No. Yeah, I don't think you can get RVol. Carlos, do you know if you can get RVol in the trading terminal simulator?
I don't know the answer to that, but we can try.
I don't I don't I don't think so. I'm looking at it here. I don't see a setting for
There's
RVol.
not a setup. Hmm.
I don't think so. Because it's not it's sort of an intraday measure. It compares today's volume to the volume on the other days at this point of the day. So there's a lot of data behind that to just get a simple RVol number.
Yeah.
Um, I said I use DAS for that. I don't, from what I'm seeing here, it doesn't look like you can get it in Trading Terminal at this point. So apologies for that. If you want to know the RVol and anything, you let me know. I'll happily tell you.
Yeah, you're right. I don't see it either. So I'm not sure, friends.
Uh, Bottom right on Trading View. Oh, Spencer says it's there. Bottom right. That's in Trading View though. That's something different.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways. We were watching your trade for you, Carlos. Not that we could do anything about it, but it looks like it's holding here for the moment. Doesn't
Yes.
look that
Holding.
strong.
Yep. Yep.
But
Let's see if we could hold this 196.47. So it just came back to the 20. Excuse me, the 9. So it came back to the 9 here, 9 moving average. This is the 200, so I don't really
yeah,
care about this one on the small time frames. You don't really care much about them. The 9 to 20 is usually what I pay attention to the most, and this is the 50. Again, both of those you don't really care too much about. They're more important on the daily or larger time frames. All right, let's see if we can go back and retest. What did Tesla end up doing, friends? Tesla, let me get this clock out of the way. All right, so just
it's bottomed here for the time
okay.
being. It's
Let's
bouncing
get
a
this
little
out of
bit.
here. All right. Friends, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. I don't know what X. I don't think there's any thumbs up on X. There's no pressure for you guys. Just come and hang. There's no. There's no like. There's no thumbs up. There's no nothing. So, pretty straightforward there. And over on YouTube, we're sitting at 265 likes. Thank you guys so much. That's awesome. If you haven't had the opportunity to hit that thumbs up, please do so. I'm doing the same right now. 266. And yeah, thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. So yeah, we're talking before the phone rang. Peter gets $5 per like. So that's the new contract we signed. So definitely hit that thumbs up. Let's get Peter paid. But no, all jokes aside, because somebody might take that and run with it. To make money on YouTube, you have to pole dance. like, like there's just it's very very difficult to make money on YouTube. Like you have to have millions and millions of views. So we definitely don't do it for the money. We do it for the community. There's no question. There's no revenue
Yep.
coming out of that. But it's fun. It's fun. We love hanging out with you guys. We love being here. We love trading live with you guys, preparing every morning. Now on X as well. So that's a lot of fun for us, at least for me and Peter, right? So we appreciate it. All right, come on, Oracle. Let's see if we can get up there. 198, 197, excuse me, 197.98. We'll love that. I'm gonna be a little bit patient since we kind of hung out here and just waited. Let's see if we can get up there.
Peter Dilander, yeah, you're asking a good question there about the volume. You're right. The volume is not telling me anything on Tesla today. I
Mm-hmm.
find volume, on a very micro, like on a minute by minute basis, volume is only really useful when you get the big aberrations, the big spikes, or the extremely low volume. But it's all relative to the volume surrounding it, because something like Tesla has a different average volume minute by minute than something like well, almost anything else, but something like AMD, for example, right? Or Microsoft even. Microsoft's only trading 30,000 shares a minute, whereas Tesla's trading 260,000 shares a minute. So you got to keep it all relative to what it's doing on average. But yeah, it hasn't been the volume has not been telling me what's likely to happen next on Tesla for sure. But I don't see that on most things actually today. Like even look at Nvidia's been sideways, so that's maybe not a good indicator. But even PLTR, like PLTR went up, right? Sort of set that new high of day and then sold all the way back off. The volume barely changed. It just basically slowly declined. Even Oracle that Carlos is trading here, right? Largely, there's been a couple of little volume spikes, but they haven't really been indicative of much other than a 10-15 when you get the little bit of, increased volume as it hit that temporary high. Did you take another partial, Carlos? It did come out through your 197.50 number you were looking
Yeah,
at.
it went through it. I did not take a partial. I got two
Okay.
partials in already early on, so I want to see if we can actually do that 197.98 or 198, but it is
All
struggling
right.
here. So, but volume, it feels like it's such a slow mover, man. Volume is so light right now.
Mm.
So if it's gonna do it, it's probably gonna take some time. So we'll see.
Yeah, we may see this RVOL number I keep talking about this morning's, decline as the relative volume starts to get lower and lower. So the open is often good for, because you get the open type volume, but then it might wane over the course of the day.
YMC, we saw this earlier. Well, what did it do today? Actually kept going nicely here, pulling back a little bit now at the VWAP, but again, volume is
Yeah.
it's not great. Similar to my Oracle. NVIDIA, Tesla, Apple going lower. MU, AMD, all dropped off here. Not doing much right now. A lot of sideways action in a lot of our tickers. Like look at AVGO, look at CoreWeave, sideways, AMD, sideways for sure. Look at that. MU, same. Apple, not so much. Apple keeps dropping. New low here. Oracle, I'm hoping we can get up there. 197, 98. NVIDIA sideways for the most part. A little bit wider range than some of the stuff we looked at. And Tesla, wow, Tesla's more weakness. Try to get going here quickly, right back down to the low. Well, not yet, lowest days right here, but to this area where it previously found support. This I'm gonna mark this down. 487.06. I think it's important. So we'll slam a level there, and then this is your low of your day right now, 486.10. But let's see here. Found a lot of support. Was able to hold. Trying to hold again now. Oracle, I got some more sign 197.50. I think I'm gonna take a partial here. Yeah, I'm gonna take a partial. If it keeps struggling in this area, then it might come back down. So I don't wanna. I got a great move already. Almost $2, not quite, but almost $2. So can't really. I don't want to get too greedy trying to get this 197.98 that we might not get. So
Mm.
this is close enough. I would have loved that to get that 197.98, 198, but come on. What are you doing, Carlos? What are you doing? Don't be greedy.
Oh,
Take what the market's giving you. Take it.
okay. Reprimanding yourself.
Yes, I am. Something I gotta do the third view thing. See the big picture, right? Because sometimes we get just like so, honed in on something, and it can really mess you up. So gotta step by and just kind of say, hey, man, this is a good move. Don't mess it up. Don't be your own speed bump here. Is there a journal for sim trace in trading terminal? Yes, there is. There's a great journal in the simulator. Let me show you here. So right over here, if you come up on the simulator or the funded account, we got this journal feature right up here, which is being improved to allow other platforms to upload your trades to this journal, right? So we got a lot of requests for people to want to use this journal with their accounts. I gotta wait for it to load. It does this, but then it loads. Let me see. Oh, okay. Sorry. So here is your personal trading terminal. You know, I got the bear. I don't know why I got a Bearable Trader, so I'm not sure what that is. But I got a few obviously because I'm an admin. But you can come in here and click your trading terminal. So this will be your trading terminal account. And then when you import, you can import your trades, right? You click on personal and you can actually import your trades, right? So right now I think DAS is supported. So you can import your DAS trades in here as well. And eventually you'll be able to import automatically when you're a broker. So we're upgrading that. Not all brokers and platforms are supported yet, but I know that the development team is looking to constantly upgrade to make it more features. And I love the journal. It's very clean. So definitely love the setup that you have here. For example, we go to trading terminal, and then we look at some statistics. There it is. Here it is. So here's the trading terminal for the sim, right? You get all of this here, right? Your P&L, average P&L per trade, all these numbers that are helpful. Charts, equity curve. I got a nice healthy equity curve, guys. Look at that. It's beautiful. I got to trade more in here. That's a beautiful equity curve. You can not ask for anything better than that. You guys see that? Very nice.
Admiring your own equity curve, I like.
Yeah, I haven't. First time I looked at it, I have not been in here, so very nice. Okay, what else we got here? Trades. All your trades, P&L, how many executions you took. So very detailed stuff. What else we have? Compare. What is this? I haven't put any tags back. Oh, I guess you could compare like your tags and your trade. So it's nice. A lot going on here. I have not been tagging my trades, so I don't know what these are, but I should. Yeah, it's pretty nice. How do you tag your trades? I go here and I go here. So yeah, play with it. So it's a lot going on here. Is it gonna show me my trade? That'll be nice too. It probably shows you your trade as well and what you did. Oh, it does. Okay, see, that's important. So you can go back. See, this is key. So you can go back and look at your trade. That is pretty cool. Yeah, see, opened up here. That is important. You need to be able to do this. How's my trade going? Okay, we're good. Yeah, let's just make sure. Hey, don't forget you're in a trade.
Yeah. So you still don't at this point. You wouldn't even put in a break-even stop, just in case you're not paying
I
attention.
should. Yeah, I should. I should put a break-even stop. Actually should do that. I'm trying to zoom in here, but I don't know how to zoom in. Clearly, I don't know how to use this yet. I'm trying to zoom in like I do with DAS, and that's not the way this works. So yeah, pretty cool. All right, we're struggling to go higher, man. I might just get out of this. I don't know. Let's see. Peter, any more trades for you, or you're just done?
No, I'm not necessarily done. I'm just waiting for a trade opportunity. I was thinking about Tesla for a bounce here, but it doesn't look like it wants to do that, so I'm not going to force anything. Yeah, no, I just don't see anything setting up yet, but it's still early.
Yep. Okay. So Mike just confirmed me. So for Sim, 2 more days, this is going to be available for sim. So 2 more days, this journal will be available. It is available for the funded account right now. So if you got the funded account, you get this journaling tool. So it's pretty neat. Most traded symbol, Tesla. That's interesting. On my journal. That makes sense. That's
Yeah,
realistic.
that makes sense.
That's
Yeah.
realistic, yeah. Yeah. I think we do trade Tesla quite a bit. Yeah, you could do both. You could do the simulator, and you can. The sim is gonna be available in 2 more days or so, maybe next week. And for the funded account, it automatically syncs up everything for you. Yeah, man, it's got Mr. Chatty. That's it. You gotta wait. I mean, it might seem um boring, but most of the time, me and Peter are sitting here waiting. This is like,
Yep.
yeah, we put on a show, we make jokes and do all that stuff. But as far as our trading, we're not here to put a show on the trading stuff. We're here to trade the way we do, right? Like we'll talk about cars, we'll talk about a little bit of politics without getting anybody bruised up too much,
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. But we'll just have fun and entertain ourselves and just have a conversation. But when it comes to trading, this is the way we trade. Like we won't take a trade just to be in a trade, and a lot of it is waiting, and
yes,
and that's important because I remember when I first started, this right here will kill me. And if you're new right now and you come to this chat and you're like, these guys don't trade. I'm telling you, 'cause that's how I would do. I'm like, these guys don't trade. These guys don't never take a trade. And this is the part that I wish I would have learned a lot sooner. I would have saved myself so much money, man. Just do not trade just to trade. Like, have a strategy and only look for your strategy. If you're gonna come here and start just hitting the trigger button, it's not gonna work. It rarely does that work. And I go back to my journal. I had a very detailed journal when I first started, and live. I wish I would have done it in sim, but I didn't. But live, very detailed journal, and it was the number of trades per day. Even now, when I look at it and I go back and look at it, I'm like, what the hell were you doing? It's like 10 trades in an hour. Like, bro, this is not trading. You're just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. You cannot have 10 trades in an hour when you're trading a 5-minute ORB or some kind of breakout. It's just too much. Those are all not going to be quality. It's just no way. So went from like 10 trades a day to down to about 2 to 3. And man, what a difference. What a difference. So yeah, a lot of it's like this, just waiting and seeing. Yeah, T-Man. Remember, like Peter said it perfectly. Consider these couple of days. What is it? All Fridays?
All Fridays, a week of Fridays, yeah.
A week of Fridays, right? It's just gonna be weird trading. There's a holiday in between. There's some half days. I mean, people are in the holiday mood. They're not into trading right now. They just want to get their, families get-togethers and parties started. So it's gonna be weird. So if you're green, if you got some green, keep it and don't force it. That's gonna be a big theme this week and next too, because also New Year's, right, as well. So yeah, we'll see. The next 7 days you said 5.5 days of trading are just going to be weird, and the market's going to be back again, next year. So there's no pressure,
Chris,
no rush.
Yeah. Chris, when we say trade, is it the number of tickers or the number of buy and sell? I would sort of say it's neither of those. It's the number of independent trade thoughts that we've got. So for instance, Carlos, if you look at this trade on the screen, he has one entry and he's got 3 exits so far, and he still has some shares. So he's basically taken some of the shares off each time. So we would consider all of this one trade until the point at which he's completely out of the trade. If he took another entry on Oracle later, that would be a second trade because there's a different trade thought. It's a different premise on which he's taking it. So we would count the number of sort of total, independent trade ideas that you actually executed on. So in my case, I've got one trade, which is the one right at the open, and I'd be looking for another one, whether it's on Tesla again or some other ticker. But that's
Yeah.
how we that's how we count them. There's no
Yeah.
right or wrong, but
Yep. And so for me today, two trades, right? We had a 5 minute or no, sorry, long here, 5 minute ORB. It did not work out. So this is one trade. And then here in a VI breakout, I combined those two there, and then his VI breakout. His is my second trade of the day that we're still in, right? So two trades. And even if this would have been, let's say, VI breakout, same thing, one trade, two trade, right? Even if it's the same strategy. So
yeah.
Good morning, gentlemen.
good morning,
Good
sir.
morning, Brian. How
Hey,
are you?
How are you,
I'm
my friend?
good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome.
Ooh,
Been busy here this morning as we've been watching the markets, looking for Tesla to break 500. It got so close, but no cigar yet.
close. It got
Still,
really just right at R6 is where it rejected
yep, exactly.
498.83. Yeah. I was looking at a couple of mountain pass trades for you. I didn't take them,
Oh,
unfortunately.
mm.
Like PLTR did a really nice double top
It.
at R4.
I saw that. It was early in the day. I normally don't trust those trades at that time, but yeah, look at. I mean, it's still selling off, right? It's gone red now, actually, all the way
Yeah.
down through Friday's close.
Yeah, I mentioned that in the room. It looked like the way it was selling, I thought it's definitely looks like it's going to previous day close Friday, and it's
Right.
in the red, which is
Mm.
amazing. Um, a couple of us in the room this morning, I think as you noted, I flagged IONQ just before the open because I really like
Right.
these these quantum trades were all looking like they were starting to warm up, especially when I was
Mm.
looking at them on the weekend on these daily charts. Looked like they were trying to find a bottom there,
Right.
and so I traded IONQ. Some of the other
Mm.
people
I
in our
heard
room
you.
traded QBTS. Yeah,
I heard you mention that the INQ one. I was looking at that briefly earlier. Uh, yeah. Carlos, can you put us back into the chat room? Is it giving
Yeah,
you
that's
troubles
that's
again?
that's the game is trouble again, man. I don't understand why the audio just doesn't work right away. So I'm trying to restart it again. That's why I look so concerned over here. I don't know why it's
Let
doing
me do
that.
I did a soft
Yep.
reset last time, and then you were able to get in. So I just soft reset the room once again. See if that makes a difference.
Yeah, and I'm gonna restart the browser, see what's up.
All right. Well, yeah, guys, we're
so had
still watching the market here.
yeah had a couple of nice swing trades over the weekend. Core Weave was one of them. I tried to pick up some ASTS after the market closed, but it just kept running. So I only got a partial fill on that one. So almost inconsequential how many shares I got, but still, I'll take I'll take a green trade. It's up.
Right.
ASTS is up $6.
Space Mobile. Yes. Oh
Space
wow. Yeah, it's a
Mobile, I
good
think
move.
they got a contract. I think there was an announcement that they got a contract um,
Hmm.
on Thursday or Friday.
Right.
So um, yeah, people were flagging Oracle. I don't know what. I don't know. I didn't watch that at all today. There were so many stocks that were great trading stocks today.
There were a few of them.
I know Andrew took a nice breakout trade on Tesla.
Yeah.
A few
Yeah.
other
I went
people in the
long.
room.
I went long right at the open on Tesla because we noticed it goes up and it popped up $2. I got a partial and it came right back down to my entry. And I'm like, I don't want to get stuck if this thing drops, but I should have maybe got back in because, of course, it then popped again and went up to that, well,
Yeah,
that R6 level you were mentioning. So ended up being the second move was the better move.
yeah. Yeah, it's hard to know whether to stick with a trade like that in that situation. It did, Tesla did pull right back to the after that initial pop, pulled right back to the VWAP and kind
Mm,
of held there, the VWAP and the 9 EMA, and that's when it took its second run up there.
right.
I think I got
Looks
it
like
now.
Carlos
I
got
think
us
I got
enabled
it.
back into the chat room. Yep, I can hear and see, so that's good.
Okay, awesome.
Do I think it'll reverse to the VWAP? I don't know. I think so the problem with this, the challenge with this week, I wouldn't say a problem. The challenge with this week is the volume's going to be lighter. Um, there's some positioning going on last couple days for people's portfolios. Some people are probably taking some profits on things that they've done have done really well for them this year. Other people are doing some tax loss selling, probably cutting some positions that
Yep.
so they can take some losses, take their losses. So, but overall, as Peter noted in the pre-market, it's people are already sort of booking off work here, and it's going to be maybe a quieter week. Could be more volatility though, because lower volume can mean the markets get pushed around more. So, but right now, I would say Tesla's sort of the overall, if you want to call it the mood on Tesla right now is, we've made I would say it's bearish. We pulled back to R4. We tried to bounce through R5 again, failed, and now we're sort of putting in a lower low on this pullback, and now we're doing a lower high here right now. So I'd say the trend is not looking friendly, but Tesla has this way of finding buyers. There is a big order at 490 when we look at the Atlas market Atlas, but there's some big orders down at 486 and 487. So and quite honestly, I mean, if you look at the SPY, we've really been trading in a pretty narrow range since the open. We really haven't moved one way or another too much. So we've got roughly 682 as a bottom level on the SPY, and 6 684 sort of top. So 683 to 684, pretty narrow range. We do have a high of on the SPY of 684.50. So I'd watch the SPY if you're going to trade all day. If you're going to sit here all day, I'd watch those levels to see if we break one way or another. PLTR is still weak.
Peter, I think you're on mute.
I'm on mute. Sorry, busy talking to myself. Yeah, saying the market could be fairly quiet for the rest of the day. There's a few things that are moving, like PLTR. Unfortunately, it's going down and doesn't show any sign of really
Yeah,
wanting to recover. It looked strong right at the open, and boy, what a reversal of attitude.
yeah, amazing. That's why you can't go in with any kind of bias. You've got to let the market, let the price action tell you which direction um,
Yeah.
the stock wants to go.
Yeah,
Um,
indeed.
ever since, yeah, it did that double top and then it broke down through the VWAP. We've really just been following the 9 EMA lower every time we tag that 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart. There's just a major rejection. So on a daily, what have we got? If we do we have any levels on the daily? Let's see here. This could be an area where it could find some support. If not, we're probably I mean 188, maybe 190 interim if we keep selling. We've got a S3 level at 191.63.
I'm watching
So
AMD
let's
just
see how is it
trundles.
going. Yeah,
Sorry, AMD is just
AMD's just
moving sideways right above Friday's close. Like it's just
yeah,
decided to hang out here.
yeah, it's not going anywhere. Again, NVIDIA is sort of indicative of the way the market is right now.
Mm,
It really hasn't. It's just really chopping in a range. It's almost like just algo trading. It's just
right.
trading between 184 and 183, 182 and a half. So pretty narrow range on that. Tesla's kind of making its way back up. Maybe it's put in a
Oh
higher
yeah.
low here now. We've got some orders on Tesla building to the upside, so possibly it could go retest the VWAP at 492. So how is everyone else's day in YouTube? Do you guys any trades you want to mention? Because there was definitely a lot of opportunities for trading today.
Okay. DJT. What is DJT doing? Not all
Nice. You
that
took the
much.
IONQ trade. Awesome. That's great.
Oh wow. Nice.
Yeah,
Stock
good one.
pigeon. Stock pigeon's just pecking away there at things.
You took Meta. Nice, nice. Meta was yeah, someone else mentioned that in our trading room,
Mm.
the chat room.
Meta.
They
Yeah,
had
Meta
taken Meta short.
looks very much like PLTR today.
Yeah,
The pattern is
that was the other,
very similar.
now that I mentioned, I remember there was one other one that put in a double top there that made me think of you. Apart from
Mm.
PLTR, someone in the chat room mentioned they had shorted Meta, and I looked at it. I thought, oh, there's another trade Peter could have taken.
There, there you go.
Yeah, Meta's flirting with Friday's low as well here. Here goes, yeah, Tesla's making its way back up here, making its way back up to the VWAP. The VWAP and R4 are pretty close together here, so if you did take that long, I'd be looking for a move up a little bit more and then maybe a rejection. We get to through 491, 491.30. It's where there's some big bids. 491.30 just happens to be R4. So if you're looking at your Camarilla pivots, that's why they've put their order there. Yeah, Meta's heading to PDC right now. R4 is a Camarilla pivot. It's a setting on and they're based on prior levels. So a lot of the charting software will have Camarilla pivots, pivot levels as an option if you want to display them on your chart. So what I've got on my charts for trading is I've got prior days high, low, and close. Those are important levels. Obviously, I've got the VWAP. I've got the 9 and the 20 EMA and R3, R4, and R6 Camarilla pivots, S3, S4, S6. There we go. We went through that 91.30, 491.30. We're at the VWAP. Nice call out. There you go. If you took that long. It definitely reversal. Yeah, it's the one thing that I did note on the on this uh, on this Tesla chart when it was starting to pull back again on that higher low. I did note that that it was trading above the 9 and the 20 EMA, and so it seemed like it was starting to. It's always a good indicator to me for a trend, and the trend was starting to head back up. So let's see here, 492. Now we'll get maybe get a bit of a pullback here on Tesla. Traded Rigetti, nice trade.
Rigetti had a
Rigetti,
good move higher this morning.
yeah, any of the quantum stocks. A couple people in our room traded qubits, QBTS, QS was another one. IONQ, Rigetti. I mean, they were all setting up really nicely on the daily charts for a bounce back. Okay, PLTR is coming back up. Again, PLTR, an example of a stock that might be starting a trend change. We've finally broken above the 9 EMA, and it's starting to slope up now. Right now, we're rejecting at the 20. So it
I
could
see
have
we
been a
got
920
Thor.
trade on. Have we got Thor?
Thor's out there waiting in the wings. You know, Thor, I was looking
All
at
right.
you looking all slim and trim there in the camera. And you made me think I was at a Christmas party this weekend with a good friend of mine, and he's a pastor. And he told us his great story about his congregation. He said, you know, you gotta love the little old ladies. The little old lady comes up to him this weekend and said, Pastor, you have you lost some weight? And of course, he's feeling all proud of himself. He's like, yeah, I sort of lost some weight, feeling all trim. And she goes, yeah, I noticed. You look like shit. You, you, you need you need to put some meat on your bones. You really look gaunt, like you really
Yeah.
look like crap. And he's like, here he was feeling all good of himself, and then the little old lady turned it right around on him. You look like crap,
Yeah.
man. And I thought,
I
Oh
oh,
no.
I think it's only doable if you live in a warm climate like I do, because a little cushion doesn't hurt when it's snowing like 10 feet, like up where you're at. But down here we don't need all of the extra. But yeah, that's actually sounds like something my grandmother would actually indeed say.
there you
Actually,
go.
she was like, "Oh my God, you look horrible," and you're like, "I can run a 10K. I'm in the best shape of my life, and you look horrible." "Oh,
Uh,
thanks, Grandma. Appreciate you."
yeah, yeah. No filters as you get older.
Those
That's typically what happens. So
those, those old people can be brutally honest. They just don't care.
they they
So
certainly
rude.
can. Yeah, they've got no more
So
F's
there
to
you
give.
go.
They're
Yeah.
Anyways, all right.
All right,
Well,
guys,
it's
I'm
11. We'll hand it
dropping.
over to Thor.
So
Yep.
yeah, hope everyone had a good day. Thor, hope you had a great weekend. Catch everyone later.
But I want to say you're looking great, Thor. Anyways, that's
Why,
I
thank
just.
you. Why, thank you, good sir.
All
It
right.
ta
See
it takes a
him.
good-looking gentleman to recognize a good-looking gentleman.
There you
So,
go.
so yes,
Very
of
kind.
course.
All right. Have a good one, everybody. Trade smart. Remember, it is a week of Fridays here, so
A week
be
of
be cautious.
Fridays. That is my
Yeah.
favorite thing, like that I've
There you
heard,
go.
like ever, actually, like
There
that
you
this
go.
week is a week of Fridays. I really think that is so true. And look at the ES's price action right now, or the SPY's price action right now, and you will absolutely say, man, does it look like we're trading on a weekend right now? Let me get my share up and I think we'll just wish it was a weekend. I think at the way this is looking. So, but here we go, everybody. There you go. So good to see everybody out there in YouTube Landia. It is so great to be hanging out with you for these couple of days before the holidays. I hope everyone's having a good one. I take you through a couple of trades that I took. I've taken two trades. One I'm still in, one I'm out of. Hey Helga, hope you're doing well. Hopefully you're getting ready for a happy holiday. So you can see here we had a higher, wider range on ES, and so I went ahead and took a short on it, and then I cut the position when we sold off the open price, and we started to trend down and made a new low. And when we came back up, I just exited it. It just seemed too choppy to hang on to. So I went ahead and got out of it, and I had a really nice call on platinum. So platinum was actually a higher, wider range called. So I went ahead and took this one, and I really like this one. But at this point, kind of the same thing. Like it really doesn't, for me, it's just not really getting anywhere. So if this squeezes back up through here, I'll go ahead and just take another couple $100 and we'll just call it a Friday, I guess, right? Like Peter says, it's going to be a week of Fridays. And I think one of the best things, I think the one of the things, yeah, RTY was a glorious long. I should have taken it. So, I have an announcement for everybody who trades using my cam system. I don't know if you're following me on social media, but tonight, because we've been doing a little bit of testing, let me show you a video of the testing on it. So you can see here, we have oh, this is the lower quality video. Hold on. Check it out. So we have a new update coming. Yeah, I'll talk about ghost candles next, actually. That sounds great. So we have a new update coming on the cams that'll be available in Thor mode for anyone who is signed up for the calls. So right now, as you know, the cams, you can kind of color them however you want. But what I'm going to be doing instead of coloring them that way is what I'm going to be doing instead is we're going to actually, by default, have them grayed out. The reason why we're doing this, and this idea actually came from Dr. V, is we're trying to keep the chart clear of distractions. And one of the things I noticed in the past couple of weeks is when the plays got a little less often, a lot of my mentees would start to make discretionary trades when they haven't been trading long enough to make discretionary trades. So, and I think in some ways, because there's all the color on the screen, it really kind of entices you to play. You know what I mean? Like going to Vegas, right? Why are there ringing bells and signal and lights and sounds and things to do, right? Because it's enticement, right? They want you to play. So now they're going to start out gray. And so notice here, once RTY opens, so once it opens, since there's a candidate play upon the open, see how the only applicable cam to trade with highlights? So now you'll know immediately at the open where you should be focused at to watch for a play to set up. Not even that we've had the box draw, but you actually know where to focus. It'll keep you from getting distracted by looking at all the different other cams. Like you'll know that this is the cam that you're going to be focused on just to get rid of all the distractions, all of the slippage, all of the extra stuff, right? So then once the play calls, you'll actually get the entry box, right? That gives you the location where you should be trying to get your entry for an ideal target, right? And then once you're in, you're in. So you can see here, this is an example on RTY from the other week, right? We actually get a reoffer all the way back down, and then it makes the run again on this one, which was pretty fun. So look, we come all the way back down, give you another shot at getting in, right? And then come all the way back up, and then this time we buy the CP and go through R3. So as long as our final QA goes well today, we should be releasing that update hopefully this evening for everybody. So if you are a subscriber to the Camaria Pivot Plays indicator, this new feature is obviously included in your current subscription. We're always coming up with the latest and the greatest, newest stuff to make trading, for me, and I know I've talked to y'all about this a little bit before. My goal in life is I want to be able to do all of my trading off of this guy right here, right? I want to be able to be at a theme park. I want to be able to be at a grocery store. I want to be able to be up doing things. I could be out on a jog and get an alert and then pop my phone open real quick, look at it, see if it's worth taking, enter the trade, close it, and pop it back in, right? So the RTY example I showed you was a recording, Sonny. So that was from a different day. Our RTY itself right now is RTY was a gorgeous breakout today. My God. Look at this at the open. Insanely strong open. Stayed buying the entire time. Offered R4 from the top side and then broke out. We didn't call it because of its opening position. We're evaluating this right now. I believe we're going to make a change that is going to utilize a percentage for the opening position instead of saying the CPR, and then I'm going to change the book. So I started on a revision copy for the book, and that's going to also have a futures chapter in it. But I'm going to go through and I'm going to update it with all new charts and also with the new guidelines and rules for the changes that I've made over the past like half a decade. So not quite so, like 3 or 4 years since the book. I put it out in 22, so it's been almost 4 years since I put it out, like 3 and change. So there's been a 1 or 2 tweaks here and there. So I'm going to re-release with that and an update. And then yeah, and then we'll go for that. And I'm going to re-release it in color, and it's going to be smaller and cheaper. I'm not sure. I just started on it. So, and I'm working on it a little bit through the holiday season since I have some spare time, and then I'm going to be on it next year. So, so that's one of the things that'll probably get changed in the new book. I really don't use tape reading very much anymore, but I can show you. But I'd have to launch DOS, which I don't have open. But I can talk to you a little bit about it. Oh, somebody else asked me something else. Hold on. And then I'll do that one. I'm stuck short on Google. That's what I saw. Google. Okay. I love your short on Google today, Tyler. I would hold it. I would not. Where are you? Where's your entry? Did you say that already? You're on Google at 309. You're in at 309. Three oh nine 15. Like right there. Thank you. So you're like right there. So for me, there seem I would definitely not get rid of this. You may want to put it at break even with the hopes that it stops you out and gives you a better entry. Right? Like your entry's a little low because it opened away from R4. It didn't really give you the good premium offering. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like when we I want to open here, yes, but I want to pull back and then go short. That way I can get here and put my stop above R4, get up here near premium, near high, pre-market high. So your entry, just because of how hard this, you did a great entry though, by the way. I just want to say, I think it's a great spot. You obviously, it sold, it offered value. You probably got short somewhere, like either as it was dropping or on this pullback right here. You probably did you get short on the pullback? On the second candle? Or you got short on the first one? So yeah, you kind of hit it as it was coming through. So that's one of the reasons why it is nice to kind of wait for the reoffer, right? Because if you let it sold and then let it draw back up and set this value area, you could have shorted here with your stop like right above the value area, right? And that would have worked. Let me kind of show you what I mean by that, right? Watch this. Check this out. Like if you're gonna play a 1-minute ORB, there's really only one way for me that makes sense to playing it. It's valid. It's just tricky. So like if you're gonna play it this way and you're not gonna play it off the high, because a lot of people use 1-minute ORBs because Andrew uses them a lot and he's the master at these things. It's really quite impressive. Right? So, but if you're gonna do it, like think about it like use like a fib, for instance, and on the you can time this with your eyes once you get good at it. Right? So you can kind of let me undo my magnet. Hold on. So you can see here's the bottom of that 1-minute candle. All right, so see here, just use a very basic fib. All right, the industry standard fib here is going to be your 33 and your 66. Okay? It would be your 33 and your 66. Let it make that full-bodied candle, that high and that low, and then you can time, once you get used to this, do a little practice, you can see this with your eyes. You don't need to draw these. You just need to get good enough to recognize this with your eyes. It takes some skill, it takes some time, put it in. So you can see that it offered without really drawing this. Where did it offer to? Look right here. See how they offered it right back to the 50%? So let it create that first candle. Getting in on the first candle is always going to be the worst RVR you could possibly have at any given time. always let your first candle close and then play the offering, right? So like kind of like Andrew does, right? Let it pull back up here. You can see it comes to the 50% retracement, right? Let it get there and then hit it there and stick your stop above 66. If it goes through 66, they're going to run all the way to the top of the candle without a doubt. It's just the way the machine works, right? So this is an area where you know you're wrong. And that's what you want to do when you're entering your position, right? Part of having an entry, it's not really about knowing where you're right. It's really mostly just about knowing where you're wrong, right? So if you got in here and threw your stop above 66, you could say, hey, if they go and buy the top third of the candle, I don't want to be in that. I'll get stopped out and maybe get into a better spot. But this one's nice. It comes up, it hits there. You could tag it there, throw your stop there, and then let it drop. There also may be like a 9 moving average or something you could use that pairs with that. But I don't like, I have trouble with MAs. So I kind of, although Brian does them amazingly, I just tend to have trouble with them. So anyway, cool. Okay, I hope that helps. Yeah, it's just really aggressive. You're right, man. Super aggressive. But well done though. Now, because of this though, I would not, just because your entry is aggressive doesn't mean it's not going to work. Now, the issue you're having now is this ticker is clearly buying now, right? So we tried to sell, which we did sell, and you can see over time we kept offering. So this detector down here is my buying and selling detector, and basically what it lets me do is it lets me read the market and like basically its current participation, right? So anything above in this area up here is buying, anything here is selling. The closer we are to the midline, the more likely we are to be offering. The further away from it, the more likely we are to exhaust. Like right now, I would expect us to go short, by the way. So if you're still in, I would hold. Right? Because for me, we just made an extreme amount of movement to the top side and actually did not move a large amount of distance when we did it. Right? So for me, I would actually expect to sell from here, because this should exhaust our buyers. Exhaust. Right? That should exhaust. That's enough volume that in theory that could exhaust. Now we could weakly struggle a little higher, but I would expect kind of a sell away, maybe even back towards the CP in a moment, because that's way too much buying. Right? So the thing I want to really instill upon you, Tyler, if you can, is it's all about technical levels. Right? You're trading an R3 or an R4 to S3 or S4. Right? It's all about technical levels. Right? So what happens a lot of the times is we become so P&L focused, right, that we give up the technical level for the P&L. No, this is my own Frankenstein invention. It's the buying and selling detector. It's really hard to explain. It's almost like I would say the best way to explain it would be an algorithm, an equation-based volume-based tick, if that makes sense, Tom Brent. It's like a volume weighted tick chart. It's a brand new invention. Stop, collaborate, and listen. Thor is back with my brand new oh no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Wait, didn't it make the full R3 to S3, or was it looking for S4 in that play? R3. Yeah, I mean, well, this is an R4 short. So technically this could go as low as S4 because it's an R4 to S4. But you are right. I didn't even recognize this as I was looking at it. That's a really good point. That's a really good point though. It did look at the precision to S3 on this thing. So you really got the move. I mean, it was R3 to S3. That's the bulk of the range run. But this should have gone a little bit lower. But that makes sense, actually. We did tag S3. I mean, I mean, I draw the computer draws these ahead of time. Look how good these freaking lines are to be drawn on like just ahead of a time. Or Tyler, maybe not get out at S3, but like get out if you hit S3 and then you start buying again. Right? Like, so here you can see, look, we hit S3 and then we started offering yesterday's close, right, to the sellers. So you can see we stay under the offer here. This means we're buying true, but we're actually in. So okay, let me explain something. I told this to a mentee of mine, and it really helped. When you're trading in the stock market, okay, has anybody in here give me a number one, and don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff too. Give me a number one if you've been to a real auction. Like a real actual like $5, $4, $3, $2, like a real auction, like $100. I got $100 for this beautiful cow. You know what I mean? Like the ones I used to go to. So I grew up going to auctions. I love auctions, especially livestock. I'm a country guy, right? I was a country boy. I grew up on a hog farm. You know what I mean? So we used to go to livestock auctions all the time. Right. Ooh, as an auctioneer, Daryl, dude, it would be so fun. Like maybe if you're into it, like would you mind like maybe shooting me an email, thor@bearbulltraders.com? It'd be so fun to have you like just kind of come on and talk for like a few minutes on your experience as like an actual auctioneer. Because I think it would be very insightful. Because I really feel like one of the reasons why I understand how the market works so well is because I spent so much time around auctions, right? So one of the things that makes auctions very interesting, right, is auctions are basically a unilateral concept, right, where you have buyers and sellers, right, but the sellers are all on limit orders. So I'm going to equate this to the stock market. So imagine this, when you're at an auction, all the sellers are on limit orders. All the buyers are on market orders. Make sense? Right? So the guy's trying to go like, "Hey, can I have this amount? Can I sell? I got this amount." He's going up. People buy premium as it goes up, and then they buy it as a discount when it goes down. Right? So in the beginning, when an auction starts off, right, the first beginning of that auction is a discovery phase. Right, the auctioneer has to find out where his buyers are willing to start buying at. Right, so the beginning, and you can kind of always tell when he gets near his low price or his what they call the reserve. Right, is because the auctioneer will kind of slow down how fast he's moving. I mean, he's going to stair step into his reserve. Right, so but once buyers start buying, the buyers will, people who wouldn't buy at like $75 will buy $120 because everyone's there to buy, right? So everyone, when you're showing up to an auction, are buyers that are there to buy. So the auctioneer has a really fun job because he more or less gets to like bump around the buyers and try and figure out like how much money he can get, right? Everyone with me so far? Now, the next part and what makes stock trading so fun is imagine an auction environment in which both buyers and both sellers can list on limit orders and market orders. That's why this market is way harder, right, than like a cattle auction. Right? Because imagine going to a cattle auction and as the auctioneer, first off, imagine the auctioneer is actually holding cattle, right? Because the auctioneer wants to like make this faster. So if anyone really just wants to buy cattle, they can just walk right up and say, "Hey, can I get 5 cattle?" And the auctioneer will go, "5 cattle, send them on at whatever the current price is. Boom, you're out of here." Right? Like at any moment in time, the auctioneer can just go, bam, there's some cattle. Now, if there's a lot of demand for cattle, the auctioneer is going to just keep all the cattle, right? Anytime someone sells cattle, the auctioneer is just going to say, "Yeah, I'll buy the cattle. Let me buy the cattle." This is absorption, right? Whenever someone tries to sell, right? And you see, so we were talking about tape reading. Someone asked, whenever someone sees selling, You're seeing we're hitting the bid, we're moving, but we're not going down. But we're hitting the bid. This is absorption. And this is like someone coming in and saying, "Hey, I want to sell cows. I want to sell cows." Well, if the market maker or the auctioneer thinks the price is going to go up, he's just going to go ahead and buy all the cows that are being sold, right? And he's not going to let the price go down because he's the one who's buying the cows, right? This is how market makers control price. They control it by manipulating the float, right? All of these cows would be the float, right? All the extra cows that aren't paid for or sold just being held by the auctioneer, right? So, and then now the auctioneer can constantly change how many cows they have in order to influence the overall market, which is really, really fun, right? A little bit of manipulative, if you ask me. So, but this is really how this whole thing works. So as you're watching these different things, right, and you can see how precise on Google the auction really is, but it's complicated and difficult. So what we can see here is we can actually see since our market is a bilateral market, right, where we have sellers and buyers both listing on limits and purchasing utilizing market orders, we need to be able to see the difference in the strength between the two. So you can see here at this point, we have sold. So at this point, we are now offering to our sellers, right? We have exhausted our sellers. You can see by how far down we've moved. Hey, did I not say we were going to turn around here? Look what happened. Why did I say we were likely going to turn around here? Because we exhausted our buyers, right? We moved up too far, too fast with too much volume, right? Which means we're going to run out of people that are willing to pay that price. It's fundamental. And we did it right at a cam level, right? Right where we came off of. It's right where we should sell from. And we exhausted our sellers right there, right? So we can actually tell in here as we offered, you can see right at this moment when we bought, we switched gears, right? We were trying to offer to our sellers to get more selling, but that did not work. They could not get enough sellers to start selling again. So they moved up, and moving up finds buyers. This is a really big this is a really big like misunderstanding for most new retail traders. They believe we are going up to find sellers. They believe we're going down to find buyers. That is not how this works, right? This is an auction, right? We already know there's sellers. There's limit orders all over the place. We already know there's buyers. There's limit orders all over the place. What we need are market orders, right? And we go up to find market orders, right? When we make the new highs, we flush out people who have been short, like our buddy, right? Who's short in Google right now, right? We go up and we get them to stop out of their positions. That throws market level buying and allows us to squeeze back to premium. Once we exhaust our buyers again, we start to offer, right? So, but you can see right at this moment, we switched gears. We said, you know what? I'm not going to try and entice selling anymore. We're going to actually offer to buyers. So we had a buy. Now you can see they weekly offer down to the buyers right at the offer line, and boom, we start buying, right? So now we're buying, but we've exhausted our buyers. So we start to sell. This is how I trade in the market. I trade in the market yes, absolutely, Mark. So when I'm talking about premium, I mean it is in a value concept, right? So I know this bugs some of my options traders, right? So, but what I'm talking about is, for instance, like if this is a candle, like let's say this is a daily candle right here. Right? Let's say that's a daily candle. Premium, discount, value. Right? Whenever we're talking about formations of candles, we're talking about premium, value, and discount. Premium is your highest price, value is your discount is your lowest, value is your middle. Right? The body is value. Right now, where you close that candle is but where you do the most transactions on that candle will determine where the value really is. right? So the value may be a little here, it may be a little here. It just depends on where you did. So for here, for instance, the value on this larger candle is probably going to be somewhere right around in here because you can see there's an immense amount of transactions going on in here. So we've bought through this value, we've offered its premium, and now we are selling back into its value. If no one will buy value again, we're going to go through value, offer it to the sellers, and then we'll sell back down to the buying area from there. This is fundamental, everybody. I promise you, if you take the time to understand and learn how value works and how the auction process works, you will have good trades, right? A lot of the times, the reason why your concepts aren't working and you don't feel good about taking trades, right, is because so watch right now, by the way, on the value proposition. Right. A lot of the reasons why your trades don't work is just you don't understand the process. It'd be like has anyone in here market auction theory book? Dalton is a good one. Livermore, Dalton, Ney, Neal. Humphrey Neal is actually has some really good old tape reading stuff in it too. But anything from Dalton, I think Markets in Profile, I think is the name of the book. Markets in Profile would be a pretty good one. It's Markets in Profile by or Ask Me, right? I'll tell you anything you want to know. I learned it from Peter Tuchman and like 3 or 4 different like people on the NYSE. I've also read Markets in Profile. It was good. Oh, Mind Over Market. Thank you. That's a good one. Okay. So look at here, for instance. It's all about value. Watch this. Let's go back to our fib tool. We're going to go to the top of this guy here, to the bottom of this guy here, right? So we're just going to go S3, right? And we'll just do R3. Or sorry, S3 to R4. So this is what's happened, right? You've sold off of this value area right here, right? And you can see we're just reoffering. If you just follow the line out, right? You can see we're just reoffering into the top end of the value area, right? So this is one of the things you have to remember is this is a range concept, not a momentum concept, right? So think more swing trading during the daytime. Right? Like it doesn't really matter if we go higher or go lower. It's the price that matters, right? If it goes above a certain price, like in this instance, it's actually R4 because it's a higher, wider range. That's why I'm saying you may be willing to get out for a small loss or at break even or something on this one with the hopes that maybe it gets higher, right? And gets a little closer to R4. You know what I mean? But this is how this works. So you can kind of see like basically like what's going on. Now, like let's look at this value on a broader concept, right? Let's get rid of your order there. High of this consolidatory period to the low of this thing. So that's a range high to a range low. Agreed? Look at where our 50%, look where our value is. Right? Let me pull it over. This is a little intense, but look where we opened today. See what I mean? It's just value. So if you could really get to the point to where you can start to really, if you want to really get into cam pivots, buy my book. a complete day trading system. It's by far the most comprehensive guide to cams, the concepts behind it. I have my book. I have a full breakdown. I go over everything that really you would want to know. Like so you can see I have it breaks down into where, when, and how. In the where I talk pivots, their relationships, the strategies, and in the when I talk market auction theory, where I talk about this stuff, volume and price analysis, price-based analysis, and tape reading. In the how I talk about prep, management, and then a little weak ass psychology because I'm not really good at that. A complete day trading system. So, but so once you start to really, so look at that. But I mean, did I not? I mean, because you guys are seeing this in YouTube in real time while I'm talking about it, right? So you're seeing it right here, right? So did I not say when we were right here, I would expect the movement from here back to the CP? Right, like you saw that in real time as I did that, right? It didn't like obviously I never know what's going to have. Right, Syed, you're silly. Obviously I never know what's going to happen, right? But in this instance, the buyer exhaustion. Look at the struggling volume, by the way. Look at the divergence in the volume. Look, you had a push up, and look, as we pushed up, our volume went away. I mean, it's so clean. I really wish platinum would sell more. The only call I've had today that I liked was on platinum. So it's INTC is dead to me. It's off the watch list. Mara's nice. It actually did the thing. But it's really been kind of sketchy. It opened really sloppy. So I didn't like it at all. But platinum I'm in, and platinum I like a lot. So platinum was a solid call. You can see here we offered to the buyers, and see what I mean about that exhaustion. So here's my exhaustion point that I marked throughout the pre-market, where we were constantly exhausting. Anytime we tried to buy, we'd sell away hard. Anytime we'd try to buy, we'd sell away hard. So I could put a profile together. We're going to automate this profiling, by the way. So over the next, like, we're working a little bit over the holidays we're going to try and add profiling to this. So that you'll actually automatically get an additional box here that'll show you where we expect exhaustion to occur. Right. So as we pushed up into the range here, we got the alert. And when we got the alert, we were also at an exhaustion point. Right. So I went ahead and went short and threw my stop above the high. If it stopped me out and went to the level, I would have tried again. Right. And now we're in. I went ahead and moved down to above here because I figured if we buy up and buy through there, I'll just stop out and just take a small win, like a few $100 or something. No, cams work on everything, MVP. Give me a ticker, MVP. Give me a small cap that you want me to look at. I'll prove it to you. Or maybe I'll disprove it to myself. Let's see which one happens first. And then I'll do ghost candles, S5. I'm sorry, you asked me earlier. VVPR, oh Jesus. Oh, this is NASDAQ listed, dude. I've got a good shot on this one. Other than it having zero price action. Okay, this one doesn't count. It doesn't move. You gotta give me something that moves. I mean, it counts, but it counts. I guess it counts. FITB. Okay, and then we'll do leverage NVIDIA. Oh, look at that. Look right there. Thank you, Sir Bruz. Always ready for a fire to fire it off. Look at that right there. FITB. We actually had an alert on FITB. and it made the R4 to R6 movement. So we got the buy. We alerted here. Your entry would have been here. As long as we were offering to the buyer, bruz, here it is. Look, buyer offer while in alignment. So that's like a down, it should not go any lower. If we go lower, we would have to offer to the sellers, right? So there's our buyer alignment right there. So we were offering to the buyer, or we could have been exhausting sellers or offering to the buyer. Either would have been okay for that long. But in this instance, we were buying, look, the whole time. We entrapped some sellers when a quick offer there and then back into buying. Clean. I like that. That's pretty. What? AZI. These things are NASDAQ. I've got a good. If they're NASDAQ listed, I've got a good shot on them if they move. All right, this one, I mean, R4 is responsive, but it opened in the wrong place. This one stunk. I would never have looked at this ticker. Silver? I'm in platinum right now. I wish it would start selling. Order book flip and then back to ghost candles. So first off, order book flip depends on the range. If you're in a narrow range and you're on a breakout, then I would be a little more sensitive to the order book flip than if you're on a wide range. Right? If you're on a wide range, there's no expectation that you're going to break out. So you're really more concerned with price than other things. Right? But when it comes to like breakouts, those are narrow range generically, and you're normally just getting as much as you can get out of that movement as it discovers new value as possible. Right. So in those, you really don't want to be so strict on those. Like, if they really burn out and they start to roll over, if we've exhausted buyers, then on those, I would be more sensitive to the book flip on the breakouts, because the breakouts are normally going to run for a really big order, slam that order, and then die. And then when they die, they're going to create a new range off of that top order. And there's really no way to tell. They could come all the way back to wherever the old premium they bought was, right? So yeah, so like keep an eye on Atlas, obviously, but if you start to see like a really significant shift in sentiment, that could definitely be something to take a look at. Let me look at Atlas real quick for Mara. There we go. That's more like it. Mara right now to me looks bearish. So for me, this is so what do I mean when I say it's bearish? Just to make sure. So there's two components that are really, really important here. All right, we have what's called I basically call it the microstructure, right? And then like maybe the macro, right? Or or maybe short time frame and large time frame. Well, let's call it that. That's a little bit less like, I don't know. What's that word for someone who talks like really using gigantic words even though it's not necessary? Anyway, it sounds like that to me. So STF and LTF, right? Short time frame, long time frame. Annoying. It's annoying. That's what it is. Oh, I knew there was a proper word. Thank you. Thank you so much. So you can see here STF and LTF. So our short term is what's happening on the short term, like near term, like not complicated here. Larger time frame are our big participants. So on the larger time frame, you can see there's big orders here, right? And there's big orders here and here and kind of here. Right? So now that doesn't necessarily mean we go down, right? What makes us go up or down is actually this right here. Pretentious. This is actually what makes us go up and down, the short time frame, or what we call the ladder. So with just looking at this, is there any one side of this chart that everyone thinks, if you were imagining a ladder being a connective row of varied increments that allows you to get from one place to another, is there any particular depth on this chart that looks like it would have trouble going one direction or the other? Like what side looks like it doesn't have a ladder? Does it look like we have ladder to, would you say it looks more like ladder to the down? Does it look like we have more ladder to the downside or more ladder to the upside? Let's do number one. Number one, if you think we look bearish. Number two, if you think we look bullish. Number one for bearish, number two for bullish. One for bearish. That's a lot of ones. I think you guys are feeling me. Guys and gals are feeling me. Okay. You're with me here. It is in fact bearish. All right. Now, bearish doesn't mean we go down. But if I was going to pick a direction that I think that this book is going to move the easiest, it would be to the downside to this order. We have a very large order to the downside. We also have a large block of orders to the downside, and we have very little laddering to the top side right now. So I don't really see. Now, if we look here, and this is where the book flip is that we talk about, if we start to see orders building up and creating a ladder here, if they fill this in, well, that'll change everything. There's something else that's happening right here, by the way. What else is a concern with going up for me? Anyone looking at this, what are you seeing on this level 2 right now, on this DOM? Right? That maybe looks like we're gonna go down, not up. It has something to do with the bubbles. Yeah, we have large green bubbles and a lean book to the top side. So if they wanted to go up, they could. There's plenty of volume here for this price to go up. But they're not going up. They could go up, but they're not. That is absorption. Right? Anytime someone is trying to buy, they're offloading the float or they're offloading inventory into the buyers. Right? So it would look at this moment like the specialists are trapping buyers. Like they're offloading their premium into the buyer, and then they will likely rip down into these large orders to the debt. Look, they're bringing more orders on here at 1025 now. A lot of people, what they get really concerned about, and this is something that used to happen in bear bull traders a lot. When bear bull traders first started, a lot of the membership came from low float communities. In a low float community, you do not want to see an order book that looks like this. You want to see an order book that looks like this. Low floats, because they are a low float by nature, they run away from their large orders because the specialists don't have enough float to fulfill those orders, right? They actually have to generate the market level activity to go through those orders because they just don't have inventory, right? So in this instance, on a low float, you would actually see all those big orders as being a problem, but in a high cap, they're not. In a high cap, because their market makers are transactionally motivated. Remember, they're auctioneers. Auctioneers would not be auctioneers if they didn't get to make money on what they sell, right? There's a service. They get a percentage. Same thing with market makers. Anytime someone buys, anytime somebody sells, right, they're going to make money. So why would they go up right now? There's no money up there, right? The money's down there. Doesn't mean they can go down. They need sellers, right? But that's what they're waiting for right now. They're trying to entice sellers, right? They want sellers to come in. So if you kind of look at Mara now, which we were just looking at, you can see here, look, we had been enticing sellers and selling this whole time, but now we've tried to entice and we're starting to buy a little bit right now. So they're actually offering the buyers a chance right now to step in and buy. Do our buyers want to come in and start buying? But what I would, if I was going to put money on this and I was going to make this my trade, even though it's a higher narrow range, I would actually play this into these bids. So I would wait for this to squeeze near the open price. And if I see a seller hit in it, or if we weakly offer into the open, I'd tag it short for it to drop into these big orders to the downside, right? So it'd be like a drop into $10.20, right? Which would be right there. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and mark that level, 10.20, right? There's our orders, right? And what is that order sitting right in front of, by the way? Sitting right in front of previous day's close, the king of all levels, right? Anybody have an idea, or now that we're understanding the process, could you guess on with the value concepts we talked about earlier, right? Could you guess maybe why we closed where we closed yesterday? Atlas will help you. Right, it was a giant order block that we couldn't generate enough selling to go through. So they're trying to do it today. Pretty fun, right? So ghost candles. Let's look at ghost candles on Mara. Actually, I haven't looked at, let's go with a different ticker, Apple. Oh, Apple was obnoxious today. Maybe not Apple. I want something that's moving. This'll work. Tesla was fun today. Look at our ATR high on Tesla was at $500 today. So it's pretty easy spot to look for us to exhaust. So again, so when we're talking about that exhaustion I talk about, so notice here, right? If you go back to its profile from a couple of days ago, you can see that Tesla exhausts really anytime on average when it gets up and around this like 30-point area, right? So in this 30-point area up here, you can see that's where Tesla kind of exhausts. So that's where I'm expecting if I'm going to have a reversal and I'm going to burn out my, my participants, probably going to be somewhere right around that volume level, right? So now I'm going to carry that across till today, right? And look what happened, right? We went up, boom, there's our exhaustion point right here, right? This is right when we went into R6, made our all-time high, and we exhausted right here. So I would have shorted somewhere right in here, ideally, stop above high of day. So let me show you how I came up with that, because this is VPA to its bestest, right? So you can see here, right? So when you're reading ghost candles, right, you're talking about this. You're combining two things, volume, and you're combining price analysis. Right? Price analysis is candle patterning, right? So when you're looking at candles and you're looking at them without volume, you're not using VPA, you're just using PA, right? So as we take, like, sometimes candles will look very, very powerful, and those candles are very, very weak. And like these two candles here. These two candles are candles that a lot of people would look at as being very powerful. But when I look at them, and we'll talk about this premium concept with here, right? The volume is all wrong, right? So you can see right here, let's start off at the beginning. First off, at the open, we have a selling candle that is completely absorbed, right? With this amount of volume, which is this candle is bright red. With this amount of volume, I would have expected this to be an engulfing candle, right? So so we have we set premium, we set value, and we set discount, right? We open, we offer discount, which we do not sell through. We then buy up through premium with some decent volume. But honestly, what do you think about this candle? When you see this candle, and now you can see further in the chart than now that you can see the chart, but for me, doesn't this come off as a really weak candle to you? Now, why would I see this candle and I see this candle as being a weak candle, not a powerful candle? 9 out of 10 people who tell you how to read stock charts will tell you that's a strong candle. That's right. It's significant. It moved so far, and it did it on very little volume compared to the previous candle. And people will tell you, oh, it's the opening candle. Don't worry about how much extra volume it has on it. No, worry about it. It's important. The amount of volume that comes in at the opening candle compared to the pre-market and the movement afterwards is insanely important to how the ticker is going to move. Yeah, this is straight anti-cooling, and this is Neil, this is this is Nay, this is this is Livermore, this is Wyckoff, this is the crap that's been working since like 18 something. You know what I mean? This is Anna Cooling. I am, by the way, if there was a co-captain of the Anna Cooling fan club, it's this guy, right? I'm pretty sure I'm responsible for more Anna Cooling books being sold, maybe than Anna Cooling. I have recommended her book so many times. She's a gem. And I really appreciate what she brought to her book, A Complete Guide to Volume and Price Analysis, was the first book that really it sent me down the rabbit hole. I wouldn't say it got me there, but I would definitely say it sent me down the rabbit hole. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the things I like so much about Andrew's book. You know what I mean? Like maybe Andrew's How to Day Trade for a Living, maybe that book didn't 100% get me there, but it absolutely has been responsible for sending more people down the rabbit hole than probably any other book, right? So it's amazing. But anyway, okay. So this was a very weak candle because it was an insanely large amount of volume, or sorry, an insane amount of price movement with less volume. Then we get another candle that's a sell candle that gets stuffed. And then again, another bigger candle on even lighter volume, right? So they are absorbing sell attempts, which is interesting. But you can see here we stagnate right at this exhaustion area. And then as we push up, we start to buy and we buy. But this time we don't increase our volume at all, right? We just rally up a little bit and then we roll over and we lose our exhaustion point right there. So for me, that's my entry signal, right? So now you could use a trend line for that and it would work really nice, right? You could be like right here, my magnet not on. No magnet, blink. Right here, right there. Look at the exhaustion point with the trend reversal reoffer, sell. I mean, come on, too easy. You don't even need cams to do that. But pair them with like being near all-time high, or in this instance, a breakout off the cams, right? I mean, it's fun. How's PL doing? PL's making me not happy. All right, I'll show you guys PL before I call it a done. I'm still holding PL. It's a bit of a disappointment. So you can see here, look at the volume. We tried. We tried to sell, we tried to sell, we tried to sell, we couldn't. Tried to sell, we couldn't. So this is one of those moments where don't argue with the ticker. Like it looked good here. We exhausted, good short. We just don't have participation now. We're stuck. So this is one of those moments where you just don't get too obsessed with it. You know what I mean? Because it's like if it's not working, ooh, it's a nice entry point. Higher, wider, oof. It was a really nice spot. So look, it squeezed right up, right into R4, which happened to be right at monthly level. That's fun. That was a good short spot right there. My target on this one would be a movement to potentially, I would go for like the CP. Maybe ATR low. It's a little greedy to go for S4 on this one. All right, everybody. So I wanted to take just a little bit of a moment and say thank you so much for coming by and hanging out with me today. I know it is almost Christmas. I did want to remind everybody of the Camsimus present that will be coming out likely this evening. So keep an eye on that and my socials for when that comes out. Otherwise, I love you all. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And as always, keep it green.